So here's what I thought of. What's good, people? This is Hip Hop Talks. Make sure you click like, subscribe, share to the page. Sean, AG, what's good? How you doing, fellas? How's your week?
What up? What up?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
My daughter graduates on Wednesday.
Big things, big things. Mine has to the 31st. 31st is my son's big day, so just trying to maintain till then. But congratulations to you, Coop, as a father, having a kid that's graduating.
It's been so busy. It's a busy time.
Yeah.
But
Congrats to you both. Congrats to you both. That's a big accomplishment, for Black father having, being able to get kids out the house and get them graduated, going to college, and all of those great things. It's not a small feat. So salute to you guys. Salute to you both.
I don't know how much out the house she is, but yeah.
Yeah, I told mine he don't have to leave the nest yet either. You know what I'm saying? He going to college locally in town, so.
I don't want to soapbox this too long, but part of what hurts the Black success rate is the fact that we have, or at least some of us have this very broken ideology that we are supposed to push our children out into the wild as soon as they turn 18 years old, and we're actually probably the only culture. And I mean, it's like the Black American culture is really the only culture that really like operates that way. A lot of these other cultures, you find their kids will stay with them into their early 20s or until they're just like financially stable and ready to like really like be on their own. And so I think we got to set up proper support systems for our children as well. So I've kind of let my child know, like, you might be grown, but that doesn't mean that this shit isn't really different. You know what I'm saying? Until you're really ready.
Right.
Different.
I wanted to be in the wild when I was 18 though, so.
Of course.
I mean, my situation necessitated as such. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're fortunate that your kids don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. We want better for our children.
No, absolutely. But salute to you guys for real though. Graduation is a big thing. That's a big milestone. That's maybe the biggest milestone for a child, and as well as a single parent for you guys to be able to get through that and just getting through this senior year and it's coming to a close. A lot of emotions are there, I'm sure. So, yeah, man, that's not a small feat. So definitely salute to you guys.
Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Appreciate you. Let's get into your bar seminars, fellas. Who wants to kick us off? Sean, what's your bar seminar for the week, and tell us why?
So I had to go with X. My bar seminar was X for Niggas Done Started Something. Closeout verse. In light of the cipher that we're going to talk about later on tonight, I really wanted to talk about, just pretty much what X did on this closeout verse. And you guys remember 97, 98, X was special. Coming out the gate on features, and his feature run was ridiculous. We don't talk about X's feature run and what he was doing to top tier MCs on that feature run. His energy alone, he wasn't going to bar you up with lyrical smirical stuff. He was just giving you straight blunt force pause. And that's what he did on Niggas Done Started Something. To be able to close out the album with that verse and that song itself, you got the Locks on there, you got a Prime Mace on there, and you got X bringing that energy, you got X bringing that bite and that bark, no pun intended. I always felt like that was the perfect closeout for a dynamic album. And also we're getting close to that anniversary. We're going to talk about that next week, but I just wanted to prime us up for that anniversary as well for It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. But that's my bar seminar for this week.
Dope pick.
AG, what about you? AG, what you got?
All right, real good. Everybody came correct on that Niggas Done Started Something. Actually, Mace has the shortest verse, but that was always my favorite. Mace and Sheik have the favorite verses to me, but I ain't mad at you picking X, Sean, because the way he came in the track and put the exclamation point on it, if you will.
Only he could do that. Yeah.
Right. What I went with, we're celebrating an anniversary that was this week, which was the Streets is Watching soundtrack by Jay-Z, Rockefeller and Company. And I picked the first verse off You're Only a Customer, which I personally feel that it might be Jay-Z's most underrated song. When we're talking about his greatest songs, it never gets brought up or mentioned. I think might be because it's lost on this soundtrack. But this soundtrack was a moment, you know what I'm saying? It came out with the movie, and it came out with the, you know what I'm saying, it came out with the movie to accompany the soundtrack. So it put Rockefeller on a different trajectory after this came out. But the reason why I picked this verse is because the affirmation bars that Jay-Z had in it, man. Like, Jay-Z always saw the vision. Like, one thing about Jay's music, he always tell you who he is or who he was. You know what I'm saying? His focus was on the money. You know what I'm saying? And he starts it out, it's the eventual triple platinum nigga with the solid gold fade. All that nickel and dime shit don't hold no weight. You know what I'm saying? Fortune 5, top 5 in the Forbes. You'll see. As you thumb through the source, I read the Rob report. Like, let's rewind back to the time, right? This came out in 98. Hard Knock Life Volume 2 wasn't out yet. Volume 1 was out. And he's barely a platinum rapper. But he's telling you, like, I see the vision. I'm eventually going to go triple platinum. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying Fortune 500, top 5 in the Forbes, you'll see. This was a time in 98 where rappers weren't making Forbes lists unless you were Diddy or, you know what I'm saying, Master P, that were moguls at the time.
Russell
You know what I
Simmons.
mean? So Jay, if you look at what Jay-Z was doing at this time, it's like he had that ultimate confidence in himself and believe when nobody else did. This is no different than when he said, who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. It's the same principle. He knew it before we knew it. You know what I'm saying? He knew that he was going to hustle his way to the top. You know what I'm saying? He knew that he was going to be one of the greatest MCs of all time. We were just late to the party, though. So I love this song, love this verse. If you listen at the beginning, he says 9-6. So it could have been recorded Reasonable Doubt era. It could have been recorded, you know what I'm saying, shortly thereafter, before Volume 1, and just got released on the soundtrack. So I even question if he, because Irv Gotti's on the production, I even question if this sample was flipped by Irv Gotti for Jay before Mary got a hold of it for Love Is All We Need. You know what I mean? It might have came first, but I love this track. And y'all probably think I'm crazy, but this is a top 10 Jay-Z track for me. For real. I love this song, man.
You were serious?
I was serious.
Oh, wow.
Love this Jay song.
Okay, AG.
That song is like that, man.
May I, before I get to my bar seminar, only because you just went this very, very far. Like, first of all, as somebody that thinks Nas is the greatest MC of all time, this was actually, for me, where I thought where the beef kind of like actually started, because this came out right after Mary's album, if memory serves.
Right. Mary was 97. Yeah.
Huh?
Mary's joint was 97. This came out in 98, but he says 9-6 at the beginning. So I really don't know which one was recorded first.
Doesn't matter.
It just felt a little jockish to me at the time. And also too, I mean, I think you're kind of overrating the song just a little bit, AG. Top 10.
Just a little bit. A lot.
But that's my point, Coop. Right. I love the song that much, and I think it's heavily underrated by everybody else. I hold it that high. Nobody else mentions this song at all.
It might be a top 100.
There's a reason for that.
Top 100? Top 10?
I'm not saying this is a top 10 best song for Jay, but as far as like if I'm making a Jay-Z playlist of my favorite joints, this is cracking my top 10 with, like, I don't think a lot of people would even put Allure in their top 10, but that would make my top 10 Jay songs. But like, you know how much I like it. You know what I mean?
You and those people that feel that way about Allure both have something in common. You're both wrong.
Yeah. Who's the only person that be saying subjective shit is wrong?
No, it's wrong. It is.
I don't write for that Allure joint either. I'm be honest with you.
I love that song.
I think Allure is overrated too. Yeah, I think Allure is overrated as well. Okay,
it's underrated. Underrated.
I'm fascinated by the bar seminars this week because I actually will say, Sean, I'm with AG. I thought Sheik and Mace came off the best on niggas and started something. Okay,
She did his thing, but I thought X energy is what pushed him over for me.
that's it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he wins that. He wins those types of fights a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, real quick before you do yours, Coop, for the soundtrack itself, the Streets is Watching joint. I always like to see if people count this in Jay's catalog.
I don't really count QB's finest, so I really don't count Streets is Watching.
Fair. What about
Yeah.
you, Sean?
I don't count it. I don't count it.
Okay.
It's a primer. It's a primer.
Yeah, Lucy's.
Yep.
Okay, my bar seminar is actually so. I have a thing. I was thinking about it. I have different motives, you know, for how I like to murder my bar seminars. And one of the things that I was thinking about, especially when I saw the two choices y'all had for a bar seminar, I was thinking about how, you know, we let a lot of the media for the times that we came up dictate the pace of what we thought was a great lyrical masterpiece of a song. And I think sometimes because of that, we miss some of the great nuances about an artist. And so I've been on a little bit of an Ice Cube kick lately. And while his not his most lyrical manifesto, when I got to the third verse of A Nigga You Love to Hate, you know, I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is why I was surprised when my daughter once upon a time was like, yeah, that's the dude from Are We There Yet? You know? Because I'm
Right.
like, no. That's the dude that said fuck Don Cornelius and Arsenio. Like, you know, like, and so I wanted to give light to Ice Cube because I don't ever remember Ice Cube getting a hip hop quotable in the source or getting any sort of like shine for his lyrical contributions. And I think that's a little bit of a travesty because I do think he's still a top 10 MC today. And so I wanted to highlight something from one of his peak moments and some of his peak years that kind of highlight what type of artist he was in his prime. Like sometimes for me, the bar seminar isn't always about it being lyrical. It's about highlighting who the artist was in their prime.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to do with X. It wasn't about
Yeah.
a lyrical massacre. It was just about the energy that he brought and just what he represented at that time. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Great picks, guys.
We got a super chat. Double O. Queens get the money. Pull up to Vegas, y'all. Yo, that's definitely in the cards, bro.
Double O, I seen that you it hit me up, man. I was in between two things at once, so we will talk. Hit me tomorrow. Any more super chats?
That was it for right
Okay,
now.
that's a bet. So on to current news. Pusha T says he is still waiting on this feature.
For a year.
Somebody, anybody. So first of all, okay, I'm gonna take it away. My first thoughts are who is worth waiting a year for a feature?
Thank you, Coop. Thank you.
Like so I mean, because that just really narrows the list down. And so for me, I go immediately. I mean, and this is going to seem crazy that I'm about to say this. What if Drake is the feature?
Doubt it.
I said that earlier.
What if
When he
Jay?
first, yeah.
Because Jay and Kendrick is just kind of obvious to me. Cole would be mild surprise, but not big surprise. But Pusha does like creating moments. People forget Pusha worked with a prime Kendrick, a prime Future, like Rick Ross, like Jeezy, like Kanye, Sean. Like he does work with Game. He works with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Gibbs, Griselda. He works with everybody.
Yeah.
He does.
And Nas is already confirmed, correct? For the album.
Correct. Yeah, Nas has already been confirmed, and so I'm thinking like, why are we waiting? I know we're not waiting a year for a J verse because he's already gotten J verses before.
But are we left to assume that it's a rap feature?
That's a great point. But I don't think he'll put this much sauce on it if it wasn't.
Is Stevie
Gotta be
Wonder gonna come play some keys to this cocaine key music? Because that's the way.
You
Like
see the connection. You see the connection.
Alicia Keys.
Nobody waiting a year for Alicia, especially if she hitting them notes like the Super Bowl.
right.
Twist ain't waiting a year for
Oh,
Alicia.
whoa.
Right.
Super Bowl.
Wow.
Super
I
Bowl.
don't know if it's going to go that way.
Super Bowl was a low blow.
Yeah.
Super Bowl was a low blow, but she couldn't hit a high note. So
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
I like where y'all going with the Drake thing. I just think it's like wishful thinking. I definitely don't see that happening because he championed Kendrick so much in taking Drake down, and he made a comment on Twitter the other day. He smoked some hookah and felt light skinned. So he still, you know what I'm saying? There's certain jabs there where I don't think that
I think it was a jab.
I don't think there's a chance it'll be Drake. But Kendrick, even as hot as he is in the industry right now, I'm not waiting a year on a Kendrick verse. He's done collaborated with Jay-Z a handful of times. I'm not waiting a year on a Jay-Z verse. Prince and Michael Jackson are no longer here with us. Like, I can't think of, what I'm saying? Shout out to Iran in our Discord. He said it better be Sade if he waited this long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Frank Ocean maybe, because Frank Ocean don't put out music.
For no damn Frank Ocean.
Right. You don't say, yeah. You're not.
I'm just trying to think of somebody who would take a year to give a feature. Rihanna, she would take a year on the feature. She having more babies.
Oh, man.
That doesn't push the issue. That doesn't move the needle.
I don't know, man.
It got to be somebody that moves the needle because it can't be cliche. I think Jay is cliche. I really do. I think Kendrick is even cliche at this point. I don't think there's no hype around that.
Snoop?
I really don't.
Ain't nobody going to keep publicizing, I'm waiting on this feature, just talking to Snoop.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, no disrespect, but Snoop poured himself out. He dropped the album today.
Stove
is confirmed.
Stove is confirmed.
He's confirmed?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stove is confirmed.
And who else could it be? I just feel like I don't know, man. I don't think we'll be surprised or shocked. I don't think we'll be like, oh shit, we waited for that one. I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe the feature is Malice. Maybe he's waiting on Malice to lay his vocals.
That's crazy.
The
only other thing I can think of is because these guys are hip hop heads and they do come from an era. Yeah. And so like, is there are they waiting on like
yeah.
What if they're waiting on Cool G rap?
Cool G would have sent it already. Cool G is stand up dude, man.
I mean, but Cool G's also been having some issues over the years. What if that's maybe the issue is that they have to wait for him? Or what if Beanie Siegel with the AI?
Does that move the needle? Because they're like marketing this whole thing. They're marketing this feature.
It fits what they do, though.
Do you wait a year on Beanie Siegel to get his voice right via AI? I don't know, man. I'm not even like committed to the fact that it's a rap feature. But if he wasn't making the comments and some of the moves that he's made within the past year, I maybe could see hold on. Wayne.
That's a good one.
Wayne.
That's a good one.
I like that.
That's a good one.
If it's Wayne, I can see it.
If it's Wayne, it's a moment.
If it's Wayne, I can see it because it almost happened on the Ross album.
That's not how it's supposed to happen, though.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna put my stamp on it. Definitely not Drake. I'm gonna say he's waiting on Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne could be busy because he's actively working on the Carter 6. So he might just be waiting on him to send the verse.
I don't think he got to work that hard on it, to be honest with you. I mean,
what if hold on, AG, now you got me going down a rabbit hole. What if it's a twofer and we're gonna get Pusha or the Clips on Carter 6 and Wayne on the next Clips album?
Feature for a feature, they just got to get in the studio at the same time.
Like Face and Nas said, a favor for a favor.
I'm with it. You heard it here first. So Hip Hop Talks. I haven't heard anybody say that yet, so that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. If anybody's going to be surprised, that'll be a surprise one right there.
Because that's the only thing that lines up to what y'all said, like being a moment. Jay is not a moment with the Clips. We've
I
heard
don't
him
think
with
so. I don't think
I
so.
think he's still a moment to his, to that base. He's still a moment, but I don't think he's not a surprise because he's done that. He did it been there before.
See, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. So like
And he's collabed with Kendrick before too.
right,
Correct.
a Cool G rap is more of a surprise if we're talking about if we're going to keep the dope boy aesthetic.
I think it's Wayne.
That's a good one, AG.
I
That's a
like
good
Wayne.
one.
I like the Wayne pick. I
I
do.
like Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Mass
dig.
Appeal has unveiled that Slick Rick will be releasing his album Victory. It'll be his first album in 26 years, guys.
Excited.
Yeah.
How are we feeling?
The ruler's back. The ruler's
Like,
back. I like the way they're gonna roll this out though, because I think the week before, I think about June 7th, they're going to do the visuals in London. And then the following week, June 13th, that's when the album is going to be released. It's going to be narrated. I think Idris Elba is part of it. Nas
Idris
is
Elba.
part of
Yep.
it. Yeah. So I think that's going to be something to look forward to. And again, I want to hear what Slick Rick sounds like in 2025. This is a concept album. If it's a visualization album, who better to do it but Slick Rick? So I'm looking forward to this one for real. This is gonna be the
Crazy.
first.
This is only his 4th album, right?
It's crazy, and he's one of the
Mhm.
pillars. He's one of the pillars of hip hop. The best storyteller, the one who started that whole wave of storytelling. So I'm looking forward to that.
I was interested in what you said, Sean, because the promo said it was recorded in London and France, like, I guess the album, but it said visuals was shot in, North America, Africa, and Europe.
Yeah.
The storyteller that Rick is, if they're doing visuals to go along with it, if this is a concept album, I'm super excited because we have the greatest storyteller in hip hop, perhaps making visuals to go with his storytelling rap album.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's crazy.
If that's what it is, that's what I speculated to be, but I'm excited.
I'm excited because his first album is actually remarkably ahead of the curve because it's really funky and really groovy and really melodic, and it's not over wordy. And so I've always wondered what he would look like in today's era. And I think, imagine this. Imagine like Mona Lisa would still be the shit today, guys.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like if it dropped today, it would still bang. Like imagine Mona Lisa with visual aids today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Children's Story is one of the best rap videos ever, and it's so he was really ahead of his time on a lot of this stuff. So I'm kind of with AG. I'm very interested to see what the visual aid and the storytelling looks like because also too, I think what we also have to realize is that if this is going to be his 4th album, 3 of those albums have really been concept storytelling albums.
Yeah.
And so that's essentially what he does, and without any disrespect to Nas, he is our most versatile concept storyteller just because he literally delves into forging out whole albums of stories.
Right.
I don't think Nas would take it as this, but he would tell you himself that that Slick is the greatest storyteller.
Right. Yeah. I mean, not being funny outside of being involved with any the tenuous nature of going to jail, he pretty much has made storytelling concept albums when he's been free and known that he was going to be free. So I'm fascinated and interested, but I'm also worried about how people are going to gravitate to it because it's how many people from this generation are really, really familiar with Slick Rick the way that we are because of that fact that he really hasn't done work in the last quarter century.
Right.
I know for a fact my daughter really doesn't know who Slick Rick is like that.
Right.
Well, that's why I say we got to show up for it if they don't, you know what I'm saying? And not just streaming it, purchasing the music. If they come out with the vinyls, the tapes, CDs, support that man. You know what I mean?
You do, but music is so different. Like Coop mentioned just now, the way we consume music is so different, right? Because they're not going to sit with an album from that, from front to end and, accept the fact that it's a concept album storytelling. They want to
Correct.
hear something you can shake your tail feather, right?
Right.
So it's all over the place because it's where it's consumed. But Slick Rick don't make music like that. Hell, look
But
at
that's what I
LL
mean.
last
Well,
year.
see,
LL didn't make an album like that. You have
see,
to
but
listen
that's
to front to back.
see, but that's what I mean. I'm interested because it's like, well, he, I don't know. Like, first of all, I think with the greatest adventures of Slick Rick, he is ahead of the time.
Correct.
And I think with the art of storytelling, he is catching up to the times remarkably well. Because that was really an underrated album. That album was really good.
Album's good.
Yeah, I, I found that he's the only artist from that era that sounded good with a multitude of artists from the current era that grew up on him. Like, no, he sounded good next to Big Boy. He sounded good next to Nas.
Yeah.
He sounded good next to Ray. Like, he
Yeah.
sounded good next to those guys. So it's like he was updated. That album was really good. I thought it was a solid 4 and a well-deserved 4.
I'm glad you brought up that point, Coop, how he sounds next to other artists, because I think Mass Appeal at the helm of this album could see the vision in bridging the gap between his era and the modern era. We don't have to look any further than the hip hop 50 EP that DJ Premier put out, because it's a track with the aforementioned Lil Wayne and Slick Rick on there together, which is a very dope song, one of the best ones on that EP. So I say if Mass Appeal has the vision to pull in the right features alongside Rick and get some MCs that you don't usually hear in a storytelling bag, but get them in that bag while they're alongside Rick, I think it has potential to be dope.
Yeah. You know, it took him 4 years to make this album.
Yeah, that's what they said, 4 years.
I just want something with staying power.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. Everything has been like 2 to 3 months tops. And that's on a high end.
Because here's the thing about it. Like, you have to understand something. Like, how about this? Like, for us, Slick Rick is probably personally in our top 25, but he's not objectively in anybody's 25 that's not from our era and before.
Right.
It's because of the lack of work. That's the only reason.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, does this jump off the campaign? Like for the first album of the 7? This is the first one? Okay.
Official. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And they got Mass Appeal. Mass Appeal got Rome and Conductor over there too.
Yeah.
Getting ready to drop. So
yeah. We got a quick super chat, fellas. Our mom with the 199. Appreciate you, bruh.
Peace. Free Tory Lanez.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Get them out of there.
Nasty work out there.
Nasty work.
So Commons B is celebrating its 20th anniversary and is going to have 11 new tracks that come with it. Guys, I have a question for you. Name 20 rap albums better than B. Go.
It's tough.
Yeah, that would be a tough. It wouldn't slip no further than 25. It's a top 25 rap album for sure off the top of my head.
That's tough.
And I'm excited about these 11 tracks because this is a super duper classic album. What if these 11 tracks accentuate that even more? You know what I'm saying? Because like, what are our expectations for the new songs, right?
When were the songs recorded would be what my...
I would hope it was during the same era.
Like if it's from the Finding Forever, like if it's from the Finding Forever, be like if it's after Electric Searches, and before The Dreamer, The Believer, like that stuff. Yeah, you give us that stuff. But if
I would hope it's the Kanye and Dilla stuff from the same batch. Because I think they did. I remember reading an article about it years ago, like when the album was still fresh, that they really listened to Illmatic and Kanye and Common to try to like model the album after that and really cut down the fat to like the best certain songs. So if they recorded 20 plus tracks for it that's out there during those sessions, hopefully that's the batch that we're getting.
It's definitely Chicago's Illmatic, in my opinion.
Hey, that's not a bad take. It's not a bad take at all. But just look at the year he's having, because the Auditorium was one of the most heralded albums of last year. And if this comes off the heels of that before they get to the volume 2, and these 11 new tracks on B are like bangers, then Common's having a hell of a little run here.
He is.
He had a little run. Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about it, though, to be quite honest. I'll be on the opposite side of that because, like you said, AG, what if these 11 tracks are just as good? What if they're not? Does it bring down the value of B? Do we taint B a little bit? Do we put some,
I don't think we can do that because it's like, well, we don't do that when we get like extra tracks from like Thriller or Purple Rain or other
we don't get 11
albums.
We don't get 11. We don't get 11 tracks though. We get 2 or 3 Lucy's. This is 11. This is a whole nother album.
Nah, it's been some editions of Thriller that I had like some joints, man.
Purple Rain and Sign of the Times got like 59 tracks.
That's Prince. He's a different album. He's a different album.
Prince put out a triple album at one time, so yeah, that's his bag.
No, like multiple times.
Right. Yeah. And B is already cemented in the legacy of hip hop. You can't mess that up.
Is it? Because I feel like there's still people out there, even within his own catalog, that feel like B is not his best album. And every time I listen to it, it's like, it may not have like the quote unquote bar seminars that like Water for Chocolate has. And it may not have like the Chicago feel of a One Day It'll All Make Sense or a Resurrection, but that's his best piece of work.
Easily, like B to me is like Blueprint level. You know, when you put it on, it gives you the same.
Right, that's what I mean. It's like a Quemini to me. It's like, oh no, I prefer to listen to Southern Playalistic, but I don't. I don't objectively think that Southern Playalistic is better than a Quemini.
Right, and B came at the right time. It came at the right time. It came at the time when there was a little bit of doubt about who he was.
Perfect time.
Perfect time.
It's the perfect marriage of like bars and musicality. And absolutely. Kanye was coming off Late Registration, which is my favorite Kanye album, but he upped the ante. Like Late Registration, I didn't think it would get much better than that. But on B, it's like he upped the ante a little bit, you know?
He did.
I don't feel like he upped the ante. I feel like he got in a better executive producer pocket.
It was his best one.
Like on Late Registration, Ye as a co-pilot has an executive producer.
Right,
on
with
B,
John Bryan. Yeah.
Correct. On B, he's the executive producer.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of feel like this is like, oh no, this is what Kanye sounds like as a producer for a rap artist after a year with a pop producer and an orchestrator like a John Bryan. You feel what I'm saying? So It's like we got a different sound out of Kanye, maybe. Like it was funny. It's kind of like, you know, B sounds very gritty and very clean at the same time. It's fascinating.
It does.
It's so Chicago.
Very gritty. It's very gritty and very clean at once.
So Chicago. It got the soul and the harmony of Chicago, but it also got that inner city feel.
I still think that it's his best production job.
Yeah, I agree. And Common is rapping on the album.
He's rapping.
Oh, he's going crazy on that album. He's going crazy. No bars wasted on that album.
I rap with.
And then the live version of the food, like,
my goodness,
that you know what I'm saying? That's just like the cherry on top.
The raw version of the food,
right? Yeah. That made it even better because even here in the studio version, it don't hit the same for some reason.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No.
But that goes to your point about the executive production, Coop. Like to make that judgment call.
That it didn't sound the same. He's like, hold on, this sounds better for some reason. No, we're doing that. I know it sounds crazy that we're using the Dave Chappelle show version. It's like, no, we're using that version.
Yeah. But I mean, that's happened a lot of times on track where live versions of records end up being better than studio versions.
Yeah.
It's a masterful album. It's an end-to-end masterpiece. I hope. How about this? Here's what you hope for as a fan. When you have an end-to-end masterpiece like this, you hope that of the Lucy's, let's say there's 11, you hope for every 3 tracks there's one that makes you go, oh. So if there's 11, if there's about 3 or 4 on here, I'll be happy actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
We got TJ the Kid.
Hopefully Kanye doesn't crash out when it comes out and say something crazy about Common because he's known for that.
First of all, you must be Well, who are you, Sean Stradamus? Because that's gonna happen.
That's what it's,
Sean
that's what
Stradamus, that's gonna happen. You can count on that shit. You can count on that nigga doing that. All right. It's very,
Yo,
very
we got
black.
a couple of
CJ the
super
Kid with CJ the
yeah.
Kid with the $5 super chat. I just made it. Great. You didn't talk about the battle yet. Sean, I hope you took notes today. That's wild. Sean doesn't take notes. The Discord was interesting.
Yo, CJ
The
crazy.
Discord is always interesting.
Always, man.
CJ the Kid again. Hold on, CJ. I posted 2 Dilla unreleased B stuff on the Discord. Hold on, guys. I posted 2 Dilla unreleased B stuff on the Discord. Bonus question: is Moment of Truth better than B? Actually, CJ the Kid, you need to get out of my head because I think those albums are like very, very comparable. And I would actually have to tell you, I think B might be better than Moment of Truth to me, guys.
I think it is.
I think so.
At the end of the day, I actually had this conversation with one of my friends the other day. Like, if 2 albums are comparable, I'm gonna give. He was talking about he's gonna give the edge to the one that's better produced. I'm going to give the edge to the better rapping, the better MCing. You know what I mean? So Common's rapping better than Guru on B, although as well as B's produced, I still would give the edge to Moment of Truth on production.
How about this? How about this? I think the beats on Moment of Truth are better, but I think the production and the sequencing job on B is one of the better sequencing jobs in rap history, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I really do feel that way.
They said they studied Illmatic.
No, it's up there with Illmatic, the Purple Tape, the Infamous. It Takes a Nation of Millions, The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick. Like, it's one of those albums that it's like, well, it's not just the songs, it's the way that the songs are put together for you to enjoy them. And in that regard, I do think it's better than Moment of Truth. And I probably play Moment of Truth more than I play B. But that's just because B is such a vibe. I almost feel like you have to be in a certain space to listen to B.
I could put it on
Moment of Truth
anytime.
is some rap shit. Like B is a moment.
Let me ask y'all this: is there a skip on B?
No.
I used to skip Go.
No. Go is a vibe, man. Go
How about
belongs
this?
there.
When Go is one of the weaker records on your album, you have a classic.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good record, and I'm a John Mayer fan. But that was I skipped it more often than not, but it's still a good song though.
Yeah, it's a dope song.
When you're saying you skipped it, are you saying like it was the one song that you skipped?
Yeah, to me that's the weakest song on the album. If I was in the car, I would skip it, but if I was just playing it in the crib, I would just let it rock most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if I was in the car, I would skip Go.
How about this? Go is one of those records. Here's how I look at Go. It's not my vibe. It's not your vibe, but it's one of those vibes where when I would play B for my daughter and my niece when they were younger, they would bob their head to that record. So that's what Sean means about it being a vibe. It's got a certain rhythm and a certain flow to it that, it catches a certain demographic in a certain way.
Right.
And I think classic rap albums need that because you have to understand, even on the Illmatic, chicks know the hook to The World Is Yours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do. So Go is kind of one of those records. So it might be one of the weaker records, but I do think it's a necessary record on that album.
Go or Testify? Which one? Go or Testify?
Oh, I love it. Testify is top 3 on the album for me.
Testify is a banger.
I loved it. And the storytelling. Come on now. We just talked about storytelling.
And Common low key tells stories, but he very rarely gets conceptual like that.
Yeah, right. And the beat's hard.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the highlights of B, in my opinion. Testify is one of the highlights. Yeah.
Yep.
LP disagrees. We got a couple of more super.
Nobody asked LP.
LP Queens get the money.
Oh, is that what it is? Queens get the money, man. LP. Okay, we got another super chat.
Yeah,
I still can't. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. I still can't say so. Moment of Truth is flawless and goes on longer. The same argument Coop used against the college dropout. If you know, you know. I told you, man. Purple Tape. It Takes a Nation. Doggy Style, Chronic.
It's harder to do.
It's hard to make those long players like that. Like where you're 15, 16, 17 songs in and all the songs are banging. No, there's only like 4 or 5 rap albums like that. Really?
Not many.
CJ the Kid, $5 again. Appreciate you, CJ. I'm going to regret this question, but go or she knows what she wants. Give me go.
Yeah, give me go.
And you're right. You're regretting it because even AG is going to say go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, TJ. I'm not. I don't say this too many times. People
I was about to say
chat.
something crazy, but
No. CJ, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. You wasted your money with that super chat.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Thank you, CJ. We appreciate you.
You did. Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. All right, we're gonna move on to anniversaries, like we were talking about earlier with AG's bar seminar. Streets is Watching, released on May 12th, 1998. Guys, I love the fact that he provided visual aids to this. I think it was ahead of its time, but album submit. It's about 3 or 4 songs on there.
3 or 4?
Yeah, Murdergram.
Damn.
It's all right. What?
You don't like In My Lifetime remix?
Celebration and In My Lifetime remix. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's it.
That's
what I have.
Yeah.
You only a customer. That's another one.
No. You're the only one that likes that. I don't think you understand. Yeah. No. I named my
nigga Hill Figure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I love MOP. No.
Y'all disappoint me, man.
No, you disappoint us.
Yeah. That's just the other way around.
This is wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dr. Green tried to manipulate
this love for free, the rail joint?
No.
The gaslighting is real.
No.
That's wild.
What happened to Rail? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is Rail?
Yeah, who is Rail? Yeah. They could get any random guy to sing that point.
The Chris John joint was even dope, man. This soundtrack dope.
The Chris John joint was not dope.
Where's Chris John? Where's Chris John? Where are they?
What are you doing?
Moving on, man. You know what? I expect better of you, Coop, not Sean, because Sean's gonna hate on anything Jay-Z.
I was thinking I expect better of you. Why do you have me out here agreeing with Sean?
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying.
You're disappointed in me.
Man, I rock with the soundtrack. When it in real time in '98, I used to play this soundtrack heavy, bro. Super heavy.
See, here's my thing. We would watch The Streets is Watching VHS video more than we would play the CD.
Right, because that was videos from Volume 1 and, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but yes, it was Volume 1 and Streets is Watching mix.
Right.
So it's like you got Where I'm From, Streets is Watching, Face Off. Like, classic.
The Face Off scene was crazy.
Face Off was crazy. Love it. It's the best part of Streets is Watching. If you know, you know.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'll die on that hill. Y'all ain't got to be up there with me. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. You died up there earlier. We just let you die. We just didn't say anything while you were dying up there.
So are you.
Next one, fellas. Cam, Come Home With Me. May 14th, 2002. Another overrated New York rap album we're discussing. All right. Go ahead.
That was going to be my question. Do y'all consider it a classic?
Hell no.
Classic what?
Hell no. Remember when Nas been on the radio station and said it was trash?
Oh, yo, man.
If Nas isn't trash, I'm agreeing. Yeah.
This is a dope album, but I don't even think it's Cameron's best. I think his best is Purple Haze.
This one might beat The Streets is Watching banger number by 1 with 5.
I give 0.5.
About 5 bangers on here.
What's y'all's favorite joint? Like mine's Just Fire, the Rock joint.
Yeah, the Rock.
The Rock joint.
What we can see. Yeah, that's the banger on there.
Oh boy is the you're going to select.
Oh boy and Hey Ma are big though, and so we can't take that away from Cam. Those are the records that made him a big star.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of Hey Ma. I wasn't a fan of that. But Oh Boy for sure. I think Jim Jones was trash all over the songs that he were on. It was terrible. He brought it down a notch for me. It was Jewel's coming out party, if you will. I'm be honest with you guys, and this may sound crazy. Y'all may disagree. I didn't even like Welcome to New York City with him and Jay.
I was just getting ready to ask you that. I was going to ask you, does it sound? I like the record, but it's something about that record that sounds a little forced to me.
It was,
and when you hear stories about it, it is kind of forced.
You can
First
tell.
of all, those two have no chemistry together.
None.
And I don't think for that moment, although Joel's hook is pretty dope, why is he on there?
How about this? This
you know what I'm saying?
No. This is no disrespect to Bleak, but the Just Blaze, the rock song, it should be J, Cam, and Beans.
I wouldn't mind if it was 4 verses.
I'm cool with 4. Cool with 4. It's 2002. You can still get away with that in 2002.
Yeah.
You do that shit now, your career's over.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But even at this time when this album was out, the Prodigy song that I listened to more than anything was Losing Weight with Prodigy. Like, I listened to that more than anything on this album.
Losing Weight was dope.
I think it was underwhelming to me. I'm gonna be honest. It was underwhelming.
Overrated. Underwhelming and overrated.
The intro was hard.
Overrated
the
and
Come Home With Me intro.
Synonyms. AG, once again, you have me agreeing with Sean. I'm disappointed in you. Sean, please mute AG's microphone. He needs to be docked 5 points for having me agree with you on 2 consecutive segments. Something has to give here. We need some sort of order to the show. There have to be boundaries.
I don't know what's going on with this guy. Losing weight. And rest in peace, Prodigy, man. But this was when Prodigy was kind of like in that. Let's be honest. He wasn't P. He wasn't P. Yeah.
He wasn't Bandana P.
He wasn't Bandana P.
Nah.
Yeah. So sorry, AG.
No, I didn't say it was a classic. It's all good. But the best song on this album, objectively, is the Rock, the Just Fire joint. That's subjectively the best song on the album.
Yeah,
I agree.
The beat is crazy too.
Yeah,
the beat is crazy. It's one of Blaze's best beats.
Blaze did his thing.
Yeah.
All right, and last but not least, J. Cole, the off season, May 14th, 2021.
This nigga said, Yo, Coop on one, man. Like, don't do that. This is a dope Cole album. This is his third best album.
So tired of hearing that shit.
This is his third best album.
It's another dope Cole album. It's like, oh, that's great. You know, that's great.
I mean, he got dope albums, but this is third best one objectively. Born Sinner is my favorite.
Third?
Yeah.
No, this is like 4th or 5th at best. You think that? Hold on.
Born Sinner is my favorite.
Friday Night Lights is better than this.
That's a mixtape, though.
Doesn't change the ranking.
I mean, if you count mixtapes, like that's like saying So Far Gone is Drake's best album. Like if we doing that, then all right, I can get behind that. You know what I mean?
Like probably is though.
But So Far Gone ain't better than Take Care.
I told you I still take Trap or Die 1 and Trap or Die 2 like over all the Jeezy's like actual.
Yeah, if you count Friday Night Lights, then this would bump the off season to 4th then for me. But he's rapping on here like 95 South.
You don't think KOD is better?
Hell, that's my least favorite one. Hell no, I don't like KOD at all.
Okay.
I like Brackets, and that's about it. I'm not a fan of KOD. Like in the least.
Is it last one to you? Last
yeah.
album?
So you think this is his third best album?
If we're not counting the mixtape Friday Night Lights,
So let's not count the mixtape. And let's say, okay. So let's say this is his third best album. Okay? It's part of the goddamn problem. It's part of the problem. It's part of the goddamn problem. It's part of the goddamn problem. It's the third best album that you made.
Man.
You will want to hear why I'm over here talking about some You get a and a
Who getting
That's what you
sassy?
get.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's your third
Well,
best album. Did you just say
tell us what you feel about
AG?
that.
You said it with your chest too. This is third best album. Like you said that shit was okay.
Well, let's make one thing clear. Cole ain't running around with a bunch of classics, so that's first off. You know what I mean? It's arguable that
he's
he
not running
even
around at
has
all.
one classic.
First of all, he's not running around at all. He's on a bicycle. That's the
He's on a bicycle. Yo,
see, Sean was about to see. I had to. You see where we are? I had to beat Sean to the punch because I knew Sean was about to say something.
You beat me to the punch. You did. You did.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you did. Because AG trying to be a good citizen. He be joking behind the scenes about guys who riding bikes. Like, yeah, old niggas riding bikes. Like, what do you mean? Why you mad at people riding bikes? It might be a North Carolina thing.
Yo, man. Like Cole, it's already established that Cole might have one classic. That's arguable. But for his catalog, I do think this is a strong case for third best. I mean, he's spitting on Amari, Applying Pressure, 95 South. Pride is the Devil is one of my favorite Cole songs. My Life is another dope song. Like, it's dope joints on here.
It is. 95 South.
Pride is the Devil is special. My Life is pretty dope.
Amari is dope. Punching the Clock. Like, he got some joints.
Punching the Clock is dope. Yeah,
Close. Close was a good one for the end of the album.
Not enough. How about this? This? Slick Rick's best album like literally weighs more than all of Cole's 3 best albums. That's the problem. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick.
But I don't think that's a hot take, Coop. I think that's stating the obvious.
But that's stating the problem. It's not stating the obvious. It's stating the problem. See, you're stating it like it's okay. That's what I see. That's
well,
my
I'm not.
thing. You're saying
we're not debating like Cole's catalog where it ranks in the annals of everybody's catalog. I said this is the third best for him. I'm not saying it's like, the third best in this person or that person's catalog. It's the third best for him.
But he should be higher, right?
Context.
He should be higher, right? Shouldn't he be higher?
Should he? Like, I don't know anybody that got Cole in their top 10 like that.
Shouldn't I get higher after having to deal with this?
I don't think people run around putting Cole in their top 10 all the time. I haven't heard that.
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so well, see, here's where you have to be careful with that, because if you look at it, here's what some people will say objectively. Well, like, okay, so here's how somebody would tell it to you. Well, if you go by error, well, these top 3, 4 is error. How many errors have we had?
There's been a lot of errors.
About 5 or 6? I feel like maybe about 5 or 6. Feel like it's been more than that?
About 6.
About 6 or 7.
About 6. Yeah. So that would put him in the top 25 in most people's opinion.
But I'm saying, though, if I say, like, all right, if I say Urban Legend is T.I.'s third best album, you ain't like batting an eye at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, J. Cole and T.I. like hovering around the same spot in the all-time list or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that's what I'm saying. No. How about this? Like, what's T.I.'s third best album to you?
King, Urban Legend, then I would say Paper Trail. For me, Paper Trail.
Paper Trail be your third best album?
Yeah.
Paper Trail is blowing the off season.
Yeah, I agree with that. He has a better catalog.
With a sawed-off shotgun with some extra pellets for the bonus tracks. Take those to the chest, nigga.
Yeah,
take those with you.
Now I agree with that. T.I. got the overall better catalog. I'm not disputing that. But
so he has the better catalog. He has the better song. He actually has more bar seminars, in my opinion, arguably.
So you saying this being Cole's third best album is the problem because he should have a substantial amount of material way better than this, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like, how about this? Like, people talk about Cole like he's better than T.I., and I'm like, okay, where? He's better than Pusha T. Where?
I think they're all in the same wheelhouse.
Better than Rick Ross. Well, where? I get you if you're talking about if you just need a verse of the year contender verse, but MCing is not made of just that craft.
Yeah.
and that nuance. That is a
catalog
specialty.
matters.
That's a
Catalog
specialty.
matters.
That's a
He carries a lot of
specialty.
weight.
That's a specialty. And so what I'm saying is that what he's done in this era, instead of making classic material, like think about it, his classic material comes from the previous era. What he's done in this era is be like the best feature artists, like where you get your 16, 24, 32 from. And it's like
Well,
that a top 25 MC don't make. Like, think about this. Where would the off-season rank in Ice Cube's catalog?
oh, it's like probably 6th or 7th.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I mean,
Ice
at the
Cube
end of
didn't
the
rap.
day,
Ice Cube really only rapped actively for about 11 or 12 years, guys. Like, he didn't rap for like a super
yeah,
long
but
time, like actively.
his J. Cole's shortcomings is your fault, Coop. Y'all the ones both from North Carolina.
That's crazy that you're blaming it on me.
You argued a mute point. Like, that's your fault.
That is narcissistic and crazy. He moved to New York with his Vietnam ass. Like
So, and by proxy, it's Sean's fault too, because he used to live in Queens. Queens claimed J. Cole. So it's both of y'all's fault.
Yo, man.
St. John's, Queens, all that is your fault, Sean. Dreamville is your fault, Coop.
Can we move on?
You want to know what? AG actually may have a point. I need to accept some responsibility like a man.
That's all I want to talk about it, because we all failed.
Y'all two failed. I didn't fail anything.
You went to the.
I was shooting them some bail.
Yeah.
See, I told you. See, West Virginia is like the Switzerland of the United States. Nobody knows that it's there. Nobody cares that it's there. You just go put your money there, put your weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He got to be number one in North Carolina at least, right? He's the best that came out of North Carolina.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of Fonte fans will tell you no, but
okay, those people smoke crack cocaine. Okay, thanks. They do.
Don't do that. Fonte ain't nice.
Yeah, he's nice. Those are hard drugs that they're doing though. Somebody is in our chat giving us a little. We're gonna have to just block these people. Yeah.
A couple more super chats too.
I'll be there. All right, throw the super chats up for me, Sean.
Like, we can't beat them. Let's go ahead and spam them. They try to go live. They can't beat us, and they're going to spam us.
It's okay.
Yo, got a super chat. It was CJ. Now we knew that, CJ. We were just talking about P. CJ said losing weight with P was on SDE Part 2 with Jewels on this album. Yeah, we were just talking about that song with him and P. We knew that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, even when this album was out, I had losing weight on on rotation more than anything that was on this album.
Yeah, that's all. That's what we were saying, CJ. But thanks for that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we got next? We got
Andrew Williams with the $4.99 super chat. Y'all heard what Fat Joe said about Kendrick being played on West Coast radio more than Pac and Snoop ever was? Shaking my head. Well,
I don't know that I believe that.
First of all,
Snoop actually respectfully checked Joe on that. And I'm glad what Snoop said. I'm so glad the way he said it. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't malice. He just pretty much said that Joe doesn't reserve the right to speak on anything for the West Coast like that. You can't say that Kendrick has surpassed anyone or anything like that. You're not from there. You can't say that. You don't reserve the right to say that. And I respect that to the fullest. I respect that. Because at the end of the day, again, Joe, y'all know how Joe is. Joe is going to go crazy on things. He's going to make it bigger than what it really is, pause. And he's going to say these wild takes without being checked. And I'm glad the way Snoop broke it down as far as saying, he respect Joe, but Joe doesn't hold anything around the West Coast. He is not the one to say that. So
look at the source. The Fat Joe just be saying stuff.
Exactly.
I hate to say it. It's Fat Joe, so I don't even know how seriously we should take it at this point.
I mean, he made some waves. I was talking to Sean about it the other day about saying that people who have never rapped or been robbed from a promoter or had to kidnap somebody to get their show money don't need to have a podcast talking about rap music. But right before that segment, he did a whole segment on Knicks basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joe's not a basketball savant or out there hooping. So that's hypocritical to even say that. Like, he's qualified to talk on the NBA, but everybody else ain't qualified enough to, talk about music. But Joe
Right.
just be talking a lot of times. So
That's all. That's all.
All the time. All the time.
So, fellas.
All
let's get
right,
into
fellas. On to new music.
Yes, sir.
Red Bull Spiral Freestyle.
You're
Joey Badass, Ab Soul, Big Sean. Joey and Ab with the controversial back and forth. And I mean, first of all, I want to say I thought it was an overall stellar freestyle between the three gentlemen. I think that's the first thing that needs to be highlighted, the fact that it was actually a dope ass freestyle.
yeah.
I think
I
what's
like the
getting
combination.
that's what I mean about it being a dope ass freestyle. I like this session. I like this chemistry. I like the back and forth. It was dope. I enjoyed it.
And it was
It wasn't.
scripted. Let's call it what it is. It was scripted, but still.
It was.
fire.
It wasn't as good as the Meth Red and Ray one, in my opinion, but it was pretty dope. And Joey came off nice on here. What did you guys think?
I would say this.
It's one of his better moments, guys. It's one of his better moments.
I would say this, and I mean this respectfully.
Anytime you say, and I mean this respectfully, Sean, you say some really disrespectful.
No, I'm not going to say anything disrespectful.
Okay.
Because I want to lead with love. Big Sean can't catch a break. He can't catch a break, fellas.
See what I mean?
This happens to him. He has to have the worst luck when it comes to a major feature at that, because he smoked it. He kicked it off properly. He did his thing, as he always do. He always do this, right? But then, who are we talking about? Who is the highlight? It's Joe. Even Ab-Soul becomes part of that highlight. Daylight becomes part of that highlight. Ray Vaughn becomes part of that highlight, for crying out.
Nobody's talking about Sean.
No one is talking about Big Sean. We're not even saying how. Like Coop said it. Coop he didn't say it with a lot of passion. He just like, yeah, it was pretty dope. In Coop voice, it was pretty dope. He did a good job. Coop wasn't excited about that pause. He didn't have a lot of velocity in his voice tone. It was more of, it was pretty dope. He did it good. He always do good. He always sound dope. But we about to talk about Joey. We're going to talk about Joey actually putting this together and throwing some very nice shots at Daylight and Ray Vaughn, TDE, all the above. And Big Sean is getting lost in all of this again. He got to be home right now looking at his TV like, I can't believe it. The only thing I remember now from his verse was, "Little bitch." That's all I remember now. I don't remember nothing else.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, I ain't even gonna front. I never thought about how Big Sean has become an afterthought in all of this until you just said so.
That's the whole. That's it. But to your point, and you was joking about Coop's tone. I was talking to one of my homies the other day, and he said that's the problem with Big Sean and this Big Three era, whatever. Like, he doesn't rap with enough like vigor or passion. Like, he's dead nice. He be spitting bars, but the way he delivers them is almost too cool for school. You know what I mean? Like, Kendrick raps with more, vigor and passion, and if Drake and Cole rap with more vigor than you, then that's pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So Sean is not stepping to the mic with any ferocity, although his lyrics are there and he's spitting. It's like, I've heard people say it many times, like, he's like the Fab of this era. Fab is just going to give you what he's going to give you. He's like too cool for school, and then he gets out of the way. That's kind of the thing with Sean, man. Sean is not going to he doesn't have any way to project, if that makes sense.
Don't, little bitch. That's all I remember.
First of all, when you say project, what do you mean when you say project, AG?
Like, it's nothing about him that stands out. It's very, and I love Big Sean. Big Sean's dope, but it's very vanilla. You know what I mean? He doesn't, like I said, he's not punching. He's not punching the mic with vigor. You know what I mean? Because his voice doesn't lend itself to that. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a good rap voice, which Kendrick does, like, you know, quirky stuff with his voice or whatever, but he's still, you can sense more.
Kendrick mask it.
But it's more aggression there.
Oh,
Big Sean
definitely.
doesn't rap with any aggression.
Ooh. Ooh, you want to know what? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that or point that out. You're right.
But I can't take credit for that. This is what my homie, you know what I'm saying, we was talking about. He was like, "Is something wrong that I can't put my finger on?" He's like, "I think homie don't have enough aggression when he spit."
He doesn't command the room. You ever been around somebody
There you go.
who just command the room?
Right.
I'm that somebody. When I walk in the room, I command the room.
There we go. Sean act like you got aura.
Yeah, you gotta have that orange glow or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that.
That's just coming off your Queen shirt. That's just coming off the Queen shirt. That's all it is.
Did he say the orange glow? Orange glow? Isn't that like the cleaning product you buy at like the Dollar Tree that you put on the floor?
That's Agent Orange. Matter of fact, that's Sean's code name.
Okay. Is his code name Agent Orange?
That is wow. That's very.
You got named after dish detergent? Is that what it is?
Wow.
Wild.
That's what Bev said.
TJ the Kid with a $10
Agent Orange killing you slow. It's only right you pay homage to those that's about to blow like the shit up your nose.
Are you done? Let me know when you're done.
No, don't do that, man.
TJ the Kid with a $10 super chat. It's about that time, Sean. Get the notes out. Get that Ray Vaughn response, Joey response, that AZ choke snippet, the possible reason and daylight responses, all that. I'm watching y'all. It's vital. Sean, what have you done? What have you been doing to CJ? Have you been antagonizing CJ on the Discord?
No, it's my aura. CJ sees that. He's like, yo, that guy's is something about him. I don't know what it is. It's the aura.
Hey, yo, pause.
But real talk, though, guys, think about it. Big Sean just doesn't have that it factor. We talked about X earlier and how X closed out. Like you said, Coop, Sheik probably had he probably had a better verse lyrically than X.
Right.
But
I feel like
X.
I feel like Sheik has had the best verse on Reservoir Dogs and niggas.
He had the best verse on a lot
nobody
of songs.
said nothing. And nobody said nothing.
He's had the best verse on a lot of songs.
On the Made Men joint, the
Tommy's theme,
yeah.
Yeah.
She got the best verse on that.
I still like Kiss on there, but I hear you.
The Kiss has panache. As Calvin Candy said, I want panache. That's what he has.
Actually, Sean, you are right about the presence thing, though, because Kiss has a presence that Sheik doesn't have when he touches the mic, even if he doesn't come off as nice as Sheik.
Right.
Like you feel like you're talking to like one of Vito Corleone's kids or some shit, like when Kiss is rapping.
Right.
Yeah. He just doesn't bring it, man, for whatever reason. Pause. He just doesn't. It's something because again, no one has tweeted his verse whatsoever. They're dissecting everything that Joey is saying. And Joey was never mentioned the same breath as Big Sean, ever.
Okay, well, with that being said, let's go to the next phase of this battle, which is Ray Vaughn with Ho Era, which I rather enjoyed, actually. Did you guys enjoy Ho Era by Ray Vaughn?
I didn't enjoy it at all. I thought it was bad.
That was bad?
At 15 seconds, press and play. Because let's keep it a buck.
Funny.
Bro, he stole Kendrick's whole swag. The way that Kendrick's rapping on like Hey Now and all that stuff. Like you want to attack, battle another dude using somebody else's whole swag is like nasty work to me, bro. Wasn't feeling it in the least.
He's out his weight class though, guys. Well, what did you think? Like, what do you think his stuff sounds like anyway? What were you expecting?
I didn't have any expectations at all, so it's hard for me to
say. Had expectations for Ray Vaughn.
Yeah. I mean, he could have just rapped, bro. He didn't have to take a whole Kendrick blueprint and use that.
Maybe but AG, that's him.
But that's what Joey's alluding to on the finals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look how much you did D-Ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But
I mean, to be honest with you, you'd be surprised how many of them dudes out there really sound like Kendrick right now. It ain't just him.
But it's copy-paste, though, cool. It's super copy-paste.
Super copy-paste. Yeah. I
think play Hey Now and Ho Era back-to-back.
I think no. I hear what you're saying. I think sometimes people are also into doing what works for the time. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But is that
Yeah.
cloud chasey though?
Ooh, I think that's more. It's gonna get me played on the radio, chasing than clout chasing. Because is he really chasing Kendrick, or chasing Joey, or is he chasing fame and the notoriety and the money that comes with it? It depends on what you call clout chasing. Because I'm not gonna call you a clout chaser if you don't have fame and money, and maybe you're chasing that through a rap battle. Because I think there is some rap that's built on that. That's part of how you build your rep. It's like, oh, the best MC over there. Oh no, you make your rep by going and fading that MC. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't know if that's
Joey said he don't even have Kendrick's number.
that's wild. That's hilarious. That's nasty work.
But no,
That's not even nasty work. That's diabolical behavior.
It
but
is.
let's get back to
Diabolical.
the Red Bull freestyle joint for a second. Most of Joey's bars, which he stole the show, like Sean said, Big Sean got taken up out of here on Control too. So this gotta stop happening to him. But anyway, Joey's bars were mostly directed towards Daylight, right? That's who his target was. And then Ray
Yeah.
Vaughn come out of nowhere and put his 2 cents in.
Well, he feels
And
like Rayvon feels like the coast got disrespected, and it's okay. So how about this? How did you feel about Mobb Deep and Capone and Noriega when they made LA? Because a lot of people felt like around the time that was clout chasing because they didn't know who Capone and Noriega was, but Capone and Noriega felt some type of way about New York with the dog pound and everything, and a lot of people forget that was actually CNN's song, not Mobb Deep's song, and that
right,
Mobb Deep actually jumped on the record. And
right.
that's really
I looked at
CNN.
that as a pride thing.
So how is this any different? Because Ray reps the West like that, and he feels like the West was disrespected.
Well, he's already dissed Joey before.
I mean, if I slap a nigga once, I might be liable to slap a nigga again. Same thing if a nigga slap me. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it
And
goes.
boy did he slap him. He backhand slapped the shit out. Yo, he did
You know.
the finals. He
I know.
slapped him all right.
I mean, for real, like the way the streets go is like once a lane in the avenue is opened up, it's like, oh no, we gonna run up and down this avenue until you do some shit to shut the block down.
Yeah.
So
But
the
I find
avenue
it
is
funny
open.
that Daylight hasn't responded yet. But the turnaround is very reminiscent of Drake and Kendrick when they was going at it like, less than 24 hours, people were responding. So that part of it is dope. But I just wasn't feeling the Ray Von Ho era song like at all. And whereas on the other side of things, I feel like Joey is restoring a feeling for like New York rap. If you want to talk about like everybody of the West Coast feeling galvanized, people from the East Coast, not saying it should be an East-West thing, should be galvanized behind what Joey's doing. Joey wants to rap. He's making that very clear. Like, if you want to step in the ring with me and rap, I'm about that action. And he's showing improvement right now. For my money,
is he really galvanizing people, AG?
listen, for my money, what he's doing right now, like, name somebody better in the game. Like, it's him for me and Lloyd Banks for what Lloyd Banks did on this last album. Like,
New York rappers?
Rapping, period. Joey is restoring the feeling that's been missing for a long time. He's rapping. And he's giving Kendrick an open invitation on these finals. And that's what Kendrick probably won't respond, but check this out, right? Like, he had a certain disdain.
He don't want to do that.
Listen, Kendrick had a certain disdain for Drake. If he went at Joey, I'd be interested in the angle he would take because he attacked Drake's character, who he is as a man, who he is in this culture. He has a disdain for him. With Joey, I don't think that would be on the table. You just got to get in the ring and rap. Friendly fade, right?
It's very,
you know what I'm saying?
Hard. It's very, very hard for a middle heavyweight to move up to a heavyweight class.
Okay, but with that said, Joey's voice is getting louder in the culture with these songs and freestyle he's coming up with. I text Sean like, yo, Joey's voice was a whisper in the culture, but what I tell you, Sean, now it's getting really loud. Eventually, if he keep at this rate, Kendrick got to step outside.
If you keep barking, if you keep barking at big dogs around their yard, eventually they gonna step out and bite you.
I just,
in the country.
Let me ask you this: if we're looking at this like a video game to fight the big boss, he done made light work of Rayvon, right? Daylight finally steps out, and then let's say if Joey takes out Daylight, at some point, if Kendrick's just going through all these, if Joey's just going through all these contenders, when is Kendrick going to step outside for the spirit of competition? Because if we being honest, we're going to give Kendrick that belt just because he took out the biggest superstar rap has. If you ask people who are really rap heads, they don't hold Drake as far as his bars up that high anyway. He took out a superstar, but Joey is a guy that's coming with the bars. He's of the rapper ilk, the rapper pedigree. So have Kendrick step in the ring against him to see what happens. I'm here for it.
I don't think that's going to happen, bro. What's in it for Kendrick going at Joey? Honestly, and
I hate that mentality, bro. If you challenge, then step out.
I get it. That's good for New York.
I get it. I just don't see. I
think that's good for New York.
I just don't like that mentality because I hated it when Joe was going crazy at Drake and Drake didn't feel the need to respond because he was too big. Like I just don't like that mentality. If you challenge, then you know what I'm saying. Then step out there.
I don't disagree. I mean, I'm just asking the question because Jay went at J.O. Felony. He went at what is Mino from Harlem World?
Yeah, from Harlem. That's my point. All right, remember when Nas went at 50.
He ain't give him no real work. He ain't give him no real work.
Yeah, some bars, little bars.
He give 50 no real work either. Now watch how quickly I dropped 50. I'm about $1.
But speaking of 50 though, remember when Nas came out with MC Burial against 50? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That was dope, but it wasn't no either. He didn't have no real disdain for 50, right? No. So that's my point. I don't think Kendrick can do Joey like he did Drake because there's no real disdain there.
No. That's different, AG. MC Burial was Nas reminding 50. Now remember, you can't rap with me now.
Right. That's what I was thinking because I don't
like that was him. That was him reminding 50 now, don't you fuck around.
Right.
Because don't you fuck around and think like no.
That's
don't
fair.
You think that. Right. That was more like a little OG check, like, hey.
Remember who put you on, yeah.
I see you winning, that's fine. You don't want me to embarrass you while you winning now, do you?
Right.
Because even on Street Riders, he tapped him lightly on Street Riders.
Street Riders is one of my favorite songs ever. I love that song.
Yeah, he tapped it like Koo said. It's more like
what did he say? I showed you your first Bentley.
He did, though. But 50 talks about it. He's like, Nas did show me my first Bentley when I was on tour with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the shit that motivated me. He's like, I seen the nigga from like the neighborhood, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because Nas really was. I mean, like in a lot of ways, like you gotta understand this. If I'm not mistaken, Nas might have been one of the first niggas like from Queens that was really like riding around in a Bentley.
Yeah, and he took 50 when nobody wanted to rock with him at all. Took him on his first tour.
Well, 50 was a menace before 50 was a rapper. So
yeah,
right.
I get what you're saying, though, AG. I can't see Kendrick. If Kendrick do anything, it would be a quick bar. It won't be. He's not going to deep dive into it. Pause. He's not going to address it fully. It would be.
I don't like that either. Because what did Kendrick say? If I catch flight, it'll be what?
Yeah.
Direct.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no subs from Kendrick. He need to step out there eventually. Where Joey stands at now, I see what y'all saying, dog. But like for real, if he takes out Daylight too and he's moving up the ranks, then y'all saying Kendrick shouldn't come outside?
I don't think these guys are big enough to bring Kendrick out. I mean, here's the thing: Kendrick ain't the coming outside and playing with these niggas tight.
I can't see it.
Yeah, he's just not. He's just not. It's just not part of the MO. AG, I'm sorry.
Once you get to that, once you get to a certain status for them, everything else is inconsequential to them. Even when Jay got to that certain status, he wasn't responding to everyone like that. He would throw some jabs here and there, but nothing, no deep dive. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing to gain from it. Jay did it when he tried to go back at Jim with dig a hole. Jimmy and Cam would dig a hole, and that was Tridash. And he probably looked back at it like, I should have did that because I have nothing to give to them. They're not heavyweights like me. They're not on my sparring level. So why drop?
Okay, let's define sparring level, right?
Mhm,
Drake's
mhm.
superstardom, he took Drake out of here. But
Yes.
everybody who champions lyrics or whatever, or the heads is going to tell you, I mean, I think Drake can spit, but most people will tell you, like, oh, he ain't a spitter like that anyway. He a singing nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, now you finally got a spitter, a real spitter that's challenging. He's
I
not
think
on the superstardom
okay,
level,
okay.
but
So
he's a
first of all,
spitter.
I think Drake is more of a spitter than Joey, and I always felt that way before, even before this. And I think what you're talking about, AG, I think when Drake beat Meek, I think it killed a lot of that. I think Drake beat Meek killed a lot of that. Drake ain't a rapper's rapper type of rapper, at least in the circles of
I
battle
don't know,
rapping.
bro. In a lot of circles, Drake was supposed to win this battle. I'm just saying it can't be both ways. On one hand, it can't be like,
I picked them, but I picked them about what I thought the other rapper couldn't do, not what I thought he could do.
but do you get what I'm saying? It like can't be both ways. It can't be like Drake ain't really like that. Kendrick's supposed to win, and then on the other hand, because he beat the guy that's not like that, he's propelled to like go conversations. That can't. Am I
That's
wrong?
that's the rub, and that is the rub
Sean, I'm
because
gonna let you take over.
no,
Break's over.
no, you're right. 'Cause that's the rub because where does hip hop draw that line? And who's the authority of hip hop to say who cannot do what?
That's fair. We got hold on 1 second, fellas. We got CJ the Kid with a $5 super chat. It's the West versus Joey. We proved it in the Discord. Ask Sean. Sean, CJ's being hard on you today.
Pause.
Joey going through that so-called Mortal Kombat ladder flawlessly. Not going through the
Right,
Mortal
right.
Kombat
That's what I'm
ladder.
saying. Thank you.
He,
See, in the spirit of
it's
competition,
I don't
if
even okay. So I don't even think the other people are taking the competition as seriously as Joey. I'm not even going front.
Right.
but if Dot is on the top of that ladder
Mhm.
and Joey gets to the top, y'all saying Dot should stay inside. That's what y'all tell him.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I can't see him. I
I'm
don't
saying
disagree
if
with
that
your
I'm
saying with your
saying
premise.
hold on. I'm saying if that ladder is really a real ladder and niggas really get active, he not gonna make it to the top of the ladder anymore. Yeah.
I
He
disagree.
That's what I'm telling you.
Joey can rap, dog.
he can rap. He can rap. I just don't.
He can rap, but I don't like. How about this? Like, let me ask you something. Does he have a like? Because I haven't heard it yet. Like, does he have a drop of gem in you? Does he have the bitch in you? Does he
Wait,
like?
you haven't heard the finals?
Yeah, I heard the finals.
Oh, I thought you said I hadn't heard it yet. You mean you haven't heard anything yet that's on that level?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, like he's not making a record that's making me go like, oh, like, whew.
I'll put it this way: he got better wordplay in the finals than Drop a Gem on him, but Drop a Gem on him was more scathing.
Okay, like okay, better words. Like, you know, this is my favorite Erica Badu line. What good do your words do if they don't understand you?
Right, but I'm just telling you, as a rapper, he do it. Like, say for instance,
No.
like
Like it's a little word salady is what I'm saying. Like on Drop a Gem on him, it's more direct. You know, flashback to the Rikers Island house. You got scuffed, and then you would think that getting your headshots enough, but then now you want to go on my team. Must have been drunk when you wrote that shit.
like I said,
It,
it's more
it,
scathing. Like take
yeah.
for instance, Jada Kiss on Checkmate, right? You gonna say bar work and lyrically that's better than Drop on a Gem on him, no? But does this record rank higher all time
Okay,
than Drop a Gem?
lyrically, I don't love Checkmate like everybody else does, so I'm going to tell you no because I think. How about this? When you're talking about Drop a Gem on them, AG, that's personally a top 5 disc record to me.
That's what I'm saying. It ranks higher, but it's other ones that have better bar work.
Yeah, but I don't know if Checkmate is one of them to me. Because I love Havoc on Drop a Gem on them just as much as I love
Havoc goes hard on
Prodigy.
that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Havoc's verse is just as good as
I
Prodigy's verse.
was about to say it's arguably better than Prodigy.
You could say that. I think the close is better.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, actually, drop a
One of
gem
the
on them
very
is
few moments.
but drop a gem on them is where I realized Havoc had leveled up as an MC because it's hard to hear it on Hell on Earth because Prodigy is so like all time great on there. It's hard to hear how much
Yeah.
Havoc improved as an MC on there. But like, drop a gem on them was actually one of those moments. And so, is lyrically speaking, quote unquote, Checkmate better? Like, yeah, maybe, but it's like not by much though, AG. Like, not by much.
Well, I digress, but to your point, Coop, we can
In
lyrically
my opinion.
tell.
In my
We can
opinion.
we can lyrically tell which songs Havoc was hanging with P on because nobody mentioned those songs in P's best verses. Like, you know what I mean? And as good as Drop a Gem on him is, nobody's saying like, yo, P on Drop a Gem on him because Havoc was, you know what I mean?
Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Got a couple of super chats, fellas.
Yeah. Jadarian with the $5 super chat. Finals is weak. Weak flow, weak beat. 2004 writing. You Ice Spicers is crazy gas and Joey. Pre-Dell computer work. Ray Vaughn 1-up.
Yep. Take care of that,
Nice.
Yep. Take care.
Jadarian, do you like Ho Era like that?
Ho
Them
Era was
recycled
pretty.
Hey Now bars?
Ho Era was pretty good. I was trying to tell you. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. AG, if Joey clears Ray and Daylight, the only other people that rap that I know on TDE is Q, Rock, and Doechii. Can Joey clear the ladder and get to Dot? First of all, he's not clearing Q. He's not better than Q to me.
You say that like you got all the confidence in the world. I wouldn't be so sure, Coop. But Joey said, tell Top we gonna start TD East.
TD East, man, yeah.
Yo, he gonna come out with a TD song and Coop gonna be having it up there with Death Row East. Watch.
TD East.
I think y'all. I'm just not as impressed as y'all are with what I'm hearing. I'm sorry.
I'm not impressed with that horror at all. Like about 15 seconds in, I was ready to cut it off. I was like, damn, he trying to be that hard? Like, nah, not for me.
All right, CJ the Kid. Are we saying Joey may need a Havoc beat for one of these tracks? First of all, everybody needs a Havoc beat for one of these tracks. Next question.
I heard the finals over Ether today. Somebody blended it on Twitter. It was actually pretty dope.
That's going too far. It's disrespectful. Speaking of finals, put some respect on the Knicks. Tell the Knicks to put some respect on themselves, 007.
Yeah, they should have closed it. They should have closed it.
Losing without Jason Tatum is diabolical behavior. And if your team has to go to Boston for a game 7, you're going to need a therapist. Sean's going to need a therapist. All of New York's going to need a therapist. I hope all you Queens get the money, niggas, with your blue and your orange Mets and your blue and your orange Knicks. I hope your teams lose forever. And that's pretty much all I got as a Braves fan. We're over 500, and hope your teams fall horribly into an abyss.
See that Mets. Okay. See that Mets.
Is that a Mets at the bottom?
It
Can't see that. The ugliness is blinding me.
Wow. It's Sean's orange aura.
Is that soul glow? Is that soul glow?
Got the glow, man. Got the glow. You know what I mean?
Is that the show enough glow? Is that what that is?
Bruce Leroy glow. Yo, what we got next?
Right. Are we done with the super chats?
Yeah, it was
I think we kind of need to move to our kind of like our main thing, kind of get the main thing like kind of cracking because we're kind of like halfway in. Did you all want to go over the finals right quick? Because I kind of feel like we've already kind of like talked about the finals without kind of like talking about the finals formally.
It's dope diss track. I mean, we said everything, but y'all don't think what Jada said is good, but it's not enough. Y'all don't think it's enough to lure out Dot, but I think he's on his way.
I still think he's like, how about this? I still feel like I look at it like this. If Dot is the final boss, he's still like 4 or 5 like steps away from the final boss, in my opinion.
But that's his trajectory. He like if Daylight comes out and Joey comes out with another track and makes light work of Daylight. Let's revisit this there. Let's revisit this conversation.
Looking at it from that side, but what if Daylight comes out and bodies him though?
I don't think it's a clear cut. You know what I'm saying? Winner either way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Daylight gets busy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the way is Joey, the way Joey's rapping right now, he's rapping with a different kind of hunger. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Mm. We're about to find out, gentlemen. We are about
We'll
to
see.
find out.
We'll see.
Sean,
I just hope that I hope
your
that it
final
stays
thoughts?
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because here's the difference, real quick, before we move on. You got to get in Joey's psyche a little bit, because this is coming from somebody who probably have always thought over the course of the last decade that he should be mentioned with the K Dots, the Coles, and the Drakes, and the Big Seans, and all that. So he might have took that as opportunity to embarrass Big Sean while he was on the same track with him, because he's like, all these guys, I'm better than them.
man.
No. All those guys, you were better than them, and then you got into other endeavors that made you more money. So
And he
one of my
speaks to
favorite.
that on the finals. He
So
speaks to that.
so
He
one
said
of my
only me and
favorite.
Pac know what that's like.
So there's this artist called Amber Mark. She has this song, and it's called All the Work. And the reality of the matter is that Joey is nice, but he's not as great as he could be, and not as great as he should be, because he hasn't put in all the work. And now he's pulling up this year, deciding he wants to do all the work. And that doesn't get you to Dot level. That doesn't get you to Cole level, Drake level. And even though you can maybe like body Sean, quote unquote, on his own shit, that still doesn't even really get you to Sean's level at the end of the day, because you're not in the consciousness of the minds of the people the way that those artists are. And
That's a
that's
fair
really
point.
it at the end of the day.
But
And
that's
he
based
hasn't
on
done
commercial
that.
success, though.
And so for a lot of this, he's looking for something that was already available to him, and he failed to acquire. He chose to acquire other avenues of money first, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But understand, all those other gentlemen that I'm talking about acquired those other avenues and still kept their rap notoriety high at the same damn time. So this is where you're ranked. This is where you are. This is what it's going to be, whether you win, lose, or draw these battles. And you're probably not going to draw any of those guys out because of those things.
And that's fair.
Well, we know Cole ain't coming outside. We know that already.
It's just ridiculous. The amount of disrespect.
Bring Freddie out. Bring Freddie out. I will say this. I'm happy for hip hop for this. It was very exciting for the past, 24, 48 hours. I still think Joey did his thing. Brooklyn stand up for sure. AG, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that just history has shown us that an artist of Kendrick's ilk he's not going to go full speed on this. He's not going to go full throttle on this. He'll probably give a couple of shots here and there at his own leisure. But I don't see him going full throttle on this. And I think Joey knows that. I think right now it's all about what Daylight is going to do next. If Daylight comes outside to play, I think he will. But when does that come, and what does that look like? It's going to be the biggest issue for me. I do think that, and I don't want this to become a West Coast or California thing versus New York thing, because you're seeing some remnants of that already. You're seeing that happen, and when that started happening, you're going to have people already choosing sides regardless of how dope the album or the song is. Regardless, they're going to say, "Well, it's not touching this," because they got to represent where they're from. So I do hope that it stays on some lyrical stuff and stays on the sport of hip hop and not get outside of that. But Joey is up right now, in my opinion. I think Joey is up. He's up 2-0.
So I got a question. I really don't know the answer to it. It's not a rhetorical question. And I know it's been a long time ago. Did Dot name Joey Badass on Control? I'm running through in my head and I don't remember.
No.
I don't think
No.
This
This is what I mean about it being too late for a little bit of all this. And it's like, I don't mind the fervor. I don't mind the competitive nature of it, but it does feel like a little bit too little too late, because it's like, oh no, when you was really, really popping and when this should have really gotten active, well, you wasn't really, really active with it. And and not being funny at all. Like, Kendrick is having a moment, guys. Like, an all-time moment for his generation. And so I know he sees what Joey's doing, but I'm telling you guys, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's too high up on the throne.
Who am I to tarnish Coop giving Kendrick some compliments here and there? So we can move on.
Exactly.
Too high up on the throne. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it is. It's just the truth of what
Joey
it is.
throwing them rocks though.
Like, how about this? It's like, how about this? Kendrick is in Jay's position, and Joey's doing even more than Prodigy was. And look what Jay did to Prodigy. And Joey's doing more than what Prodigy did.
Really quick.
Prodigy really just made one comment.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jay went crazy.
Yeah, and Jay was like, you want to know? I feel like going ballistic on this guy. And it's like, oh, okay.
And but he knew Prodigy. He said it himself out his own mouth. At one time, Prodigy was one of the best MCs.
Right.
Period.
He couldn't cash it in. He couldn't just mail that one in. He had to go really
right. He was very aware of who Prodigy was.
Well,
but Joey,
the timing was good because, like, this is what I've always said. It wasn't the sales of HNIC. It was the fact that Prodigy wasn't Murder Music, Hell on Earth, infamous Prodigy.
Right. It was slowing. He was slowing it down. The momentum was slowing down. Yeah.
Jay was rubbing his hands together like, yo, like Nas just put out Nostradamus and P just put out HNIC. Okay.
Birdman.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
For sure.
And he's also addressed the little ones. He addressed J.O. Felony. He addressed everybody else that was saying some stuff or just, all of y'all got some shots at Jigga. You only get half a bar. Y'all niggas. And that's how I feel because here's what we don't want to happen. Somebody had messaged me in the Discord earlier today. I said, I don't want to see the entire West Coast, a bunch of people we don't really know about, respectfully, to come out there and start rapping. It's like I don't want to see Coop dissing Ray Vaughn. You know what I mean? I don't. Coop, you and your asses up out of here, right? I don't want to see Mike. I don't want to see Mike dissing Ray Vaughn. Mike, take you and your goatee, get up out of here. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to see nobody randomly just coming out of nowhere. And
listen, man. But to bring it full circle, though, we was talking about Joey murdering Big Sean and Ab Soul on their track together. Speaking of the Jay-Z Nas,
he didn't murder him.
I think it did. But speaking of like Jay-Z Nas beef, I think the Bridge 2001 is one of the best examples of that because Nas had an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Going back at Bleak. And giving Jay and the rest of them some bars, and he murdered everybody from Queensbridge on that track. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, I'm gonna own this track. Oh no, you didn't. Want to know whose life was written? The heights the women, the kites of sin, the lifeless bitten. Like he was going crazy on that. So I think that's one good example of somebody who just like came through and caught wreck. Didn't look back.
Pac, he said Pac this Chino XL. Rest in peace, Chino XL. Rest in peace, Pac. He did.
Yeah, Pac was going crazy at Chino XL.
I don't even think Chino XL did anything to him. He just said
I don't know. Pac was just going at everybody.
He just blurted it out.
Fugees, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I think Pac was just in that state where if he just heard that you said something, it was like, okay, add them to the list. Add them to the list. They can get some too.
He was probably in the studio. Probably in the studio when Chino XL video came on MTV. He'd be like,
no, he was making a rap list and checking it twice. It's like you said something about me. It's like, no, you're gonna catch these.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Rest in peace, Chino XL.
Yeah, but I think Joey though, I think that if nothing else, if he don't get a battle with, Kendrick out of it, then fine. I just like that he's restoring a competitive feeling in rap because the Drake and Kendrick thing, although it's one of the best battles we've ever seen, it got a little weird towards the end with the lawsuit and all this other stuff. Joey just want to rap,
I dig it, AG. It's just lukewarm to me. It really is.
Yeah. I think it's the name. I think it's also the name.
His name don't have cachet like that.
The cachet.
That's why it's lukewarm. There's no excitement like him doing this. It doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
What does he have to? Does he have to drop a classic album to get more cachet behind his name, or you think that ship is sailed?
Okay, so here's a realistic question that we have to start asking. Who is the first all-time great rapper to drop their first classic album late in their career or midstream in their career? You usually have a classic album out of these artists at this point. It's actually a young man's game.
I mean, that first album, if you would like that first
In those
album,
first, like in those first,
or at least second. At least
like,
second. Yeah.
like here's how I look at it. I think the latest case of a rapper who's all time great making a truly undisputed classic to me is probably Common with Like Water for Chocolate, because I don't know if one day it'll all make sense as a classic.
It's not held as that, no.
And I don't think Resurrection, when I go back and listen
No.
to it production wise,
No.
is a classic.
But that's still only 3 in, you know.
No. That's
You
5.
get to be-
Actually, no. You have Can I Borrow a Dollar?
Oh, Can I Borrow a Dollar? I forgot about
Resurrection.
the 4.
One Day
Can I
It'll
Borrow a
All
Dollar?
Make Sense.
4.
So you're 4 in.
Yeah.
So that's the latest I've seen an all-time great rapper make a classic album was when Common made Like Water for Chocolate, and that was 4 albums in. Name another all-time great rapper or somebody who's really moved the meter where they have made a classic rap album at the stage that Joey's in.
Yeah, I can't think of any, man.
That's why I'm saying Common with Like Water for Chocolate is the latest I can think of. That's album number 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's album number 4 in year number 9.
Yeah.
Right.
What about Wayne? He went from Wobbity Wobbity to
See, but Wayne is a solo artist. Wayne is a solo artist. I feel like the Carter 2 is a classic, and that would be 3 because there's 500 Degrees and there's the Carter 1.
But
the Carter 1 is damn good. Carter 1's damn good.
But that would be probably the answer, Sean. That would probably be the only person.
But yeah, Wayne's different though.
Because the Carter 2 is the only one that's really stamped like that.
But here's what I'm saying. Wayne is different though because Wayne existed. First of all, Wayne existed in an iteration of Cash Money that none of us knew about unless you were from the South. That's for one.
Right.
There's an iteration of Cash Money before the Universal deal that, not being funny, I know you guys probably don't know about the way that I do. So Wayne was part of that. Then Wayne was part of the iteration of the Hot Boys and the Cash Money on the national sheet that you are aware of. And then there was a teenage solo rap career, then a Hot Boys career, and then there was the Dissolution, and then there was the Rebuild. So Wayne had been through a whole lot even before he became a quote unquote solo artist. He that's like okay, that's like asking somebody who's never done trench warfare before, you know what I'm saying? But they've been to war on 4 different campaigns in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I know you've never been in the trench before. You've just been in the jungle 4 times. It's like, well, after a motherfucker done been in the jungle but so many times, and like you tell them to get in the trench, pretty certain they know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so Wayne had already kind of been through it, so he's an anomaly in that sense.
Yeah.
So he's not a fair comparison for Joey because Joey wasn't part of no group. Joey didn't go through an independent rap scene come up. He didn't go through a $30 million Universal distribution deal come up. He didn't go through being third in line to being first in line to being last man standing to, no, he didn't go through any of that.
Yeah. It's not nobody you could think of. Pusha T, but he already had a classic, you know what I'm saying, with the Clips. But he had a late solo classic.
Got a couple with the Clips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, fellas, we got a couple of super chats, and then let's get to the main topic.
Let's keep the main thing. Throw the super chats up.
Yep. Hold up. We got this one right here.
What's that?
CJ the Kid, the $5 super chat. Coop, you said he is 4 or 5 steps. Who would he need to beat in order to get the dot? I need to know your insight, please. I mean, if we're talking West Coast artists, Q. I mean, he didn't necessarily sound that much better. Like, I mean, Ab didn't really get at him. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock is nice. You know what I'm saying? There's a few people he would have to get through, in my opinion. Drake and Cole.
It's too much. It's too much to amass. It just
like you going through hurdles you were supposed to go through a long time ago. That's kind of my whole point.
Exactly.
Super chat.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing catch up now.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to live the glory. Look, you want to relive the glory of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. You want to relive the glory of the past, and that's not happening.
All right. It's the next one.
CJ the Kid again. Chino XL had a bar saying Pac got You know
Yeah,
what? Jam.
we knew
Oh,
we knew that, CJ. We were joking around with
well,
that segment.
CJ,
We know
CJ,
that, CJ. We know
CJ.
that. We were just messing around.
Appreciate you giving us this dissertation on this moment in rap history. It's wild. How you do? Oh,
So, got another for CJ.
another one from CJ. Resurrection is a general consensus classic. I would not lie to you guys or play like that. First of all, you are playing because not people like that's the thing. It's one of those things. It was a classic in our era, but production wise, it hasn't held up as well.
I agree. And we got one more.
Oh,
199, Lord Pakai, Killer Mike.
Yeah.
yep. There we go.
Him,
Somebody's thinking.
him in the jig dance. He got
Come here.
a little jig dance. We got the Grammy. That was
He did,
crazy.
he did it in a circle too.
He did it in circle. That was crazy. Shout out to Big Mike, I guess. Let's get into that Brooklyn talk, man.
All right. For those of you who tuned into the show last week, we were doing a original concept where we're trying to curate a soundtrack for each of the 5 boroughs of New York by what aesthetically sounds like that borough. And we had some ground rules where the songs had to come from MCs from that borough and couldn't feature MCs from other boroughs, like outsiders, if you will. So we tried to tackle Brooklyn, but we was running a little bit late, and we put a pin in it for a little bit. So we're going to kind of put the finishing touches on this list and then move on to Queens. But right now we're at Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So, for the boroughs, let's finish this one out.
Okay, so where were we exactly? Because I feel like we were
Well,
almost.
we have we have our 15, but we just want to make sure those are finalized because we did tap into the chat because the chat, shout out to y'all. Y'all were really engaged in the conversation, and I took some notes and pulled a few tracks to give credence to what the chat was saying to see if they could replace anything that we already had.
First of all,
So,
what chat are you talking about? You talking about the Discord chat?
no, like during the show.
Okay,
I went back and watched the show.
Okay, the Discord chat are a bunch of terrorists. Okay, just want to let you know.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong. All right, so I'm gonna go through what we do have. We got Brooklyn Zoo, Brooklyn's Finest, Annie Up, I Got It Made, I Got You Open, Who Got the Props, Who Shot You, Treat 'Em Right, Ain't No Half Stepping, BK Anthem, Where I'm From, Put Your Lighters Up, Keeping It Gangsta, Players Anthem, and Forlorn Blaze. One that was on the list previously that got eliminated was Paper Thin by MC Light, and then Come Clean by J. Rue the Damager. Both of those got eliminated from our list and replaced with something else. So looking at the chat, I got a few suggestions that not only were suggestions one time, but multiple people said these songs. So we want to see if they could make the list. We had the Crooklyn Dodgers. We got Brooklyn English by Smooth the Hustler. Pop from the New Era, Pop Smoke with Scenario. And for Kane's pick, more people said Set It Off than Ain't No Half Stepping. And I put one into the mix that I saw one time, I think, in the chat, but it occurred to me and that I meant to say it during the show, but I didn't. And that's Time's Up by OC.
I have one for you guys that I thought about over the course of this week. Party and Bullshit by Big.
Party and Bullshit is a dope one.
That's a good one.
That's very Brooklyn. That's very Brooklyn.
Yes, that's a good one.
I actually thought I might replace Who Shot You with Party and Bullshit because Who Shot You might be even bigger than Brooklyn at this point.
Yeah.
It is, but it has that grimy Brooklyn aesthetic
it has
to
that
it.
Brooklyn grime to it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what makes it tough.
Yeah.
But Party and Bullshit was my pick that from what we didn't have, where I was like, oh, didn't nobody.
Would you put Party and Bullshit over Players Anthem?
No.
Yeah, I would.
I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't just because of Big and Kim's mic performance. I think the beat and the mic performance is better, and the hook is better. Like I can't front. I think everything's better about Players Anthem.
It's definitely a better song. It's definitely a better song. I'm just thinking If
You're
I'm
thinking
picking
about
the
the
two,
representation. You're thinking about the representation.
All right.
yeah,
So let's do this for those handful of songs. Let's go through the ones that don't even got. Let's eliminate the ones that don't got a chance of making it on.
mm-hmm.
All right, Crooklyn Dodgers. What say y'all to that?
It got to be on there. That's a staple for Brooklyn.
I can't believe we left that off. I really can't. I was like, we were slipping on that one.
I wasn't. I was beating down the door for that one.
You would have said it if you,
I
I'm
actually did.
not doing this with you.
Hold on. Did we not have Brooklyn? Did you say Brooklyn's finest?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of the first ones to put on there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Crooklyn. So who's going off if Crooklyn's going on? That's the main thing we need to decide.
Well, let's just first establish these extra ones, which ones got a chance to even remotely make it on, and then we'll replace it if it needs to be replaced. So I'll put an asterisk by Crooklyn Dodgers.
You got to be on there though. Okay.
All right. Broken English by Smooth the Hustler.
Almost, but no cigar.
Yeah. I'm good on that.
That's a classic record, though.
It definitely is.
All right. Time's Up by OC.
I don't think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough neither. It's close. I don't think it's enough.
I love it, but Pop Smoke with Scenario.
I've thought about what would be the modern era song, and I don't know what song to pick, so I don't know how viable of a source I am.
I think Scenario got to be on there. If we're talking about something more recent, I guess as recent as you can for Brooklyn Sound, Scenario have to be on.
But is that Brooklyn Sound though?
It brought back a feel for Brooklyn, for a newer artist out of Brooklyn. It represents so much. That or Prada for Pop Smoke got to be there.
Scenario came up the most.
I think Scenario would be the one then. That's the one I would lean to.
All right.
It's very BK, to be quite honest, man.
So as far as Kane, I'll put an asterisk by that. So as far as Kane representation, a lot of people said Set It Off. And I think, Coop, you even alluded to Set It Off might, be better than Ain't No Half Stepping when we were talking on the last show.
If we're talking about, because here's what I'm starting to, I didn't totally understand the assignment at first, but the more I get into the understanding of the assignment, not to be funny, some of these records are so transcendent that they're actually bigger than the borough, and Ain't No Half Stepping might be bigger than the borough. Like, people need to understand this. Most of the records on Illmatic are bigger than Queens.
Way bigger than Queens. It's more than Queens.
And
Ain't No Half Stepping.
So Set It Off. I can, like, when I'm listening to Set It Off. Oh no, that does sound more like that Brooklyn B-boy shit that Ain't No Half Stepping does. Because Ain't No Half Step. How about this? Ain't No Half Stepping to me is like, as far as rap singles go, it's the old school rap version equivalent of One More Chance in terms of a bar seminar. Like, how you have that rap record that's a hit record, but lyrically speaking, the guy is still like just delivering at that like awesome clip. That's what One More Chance, the remix, is. That's what Ain't No Half Stepping is.
Right.
And so
that might be one we replace for Kane.
Right. So we can. I'm cool with swapping out Ain't No Half Stepping for Set It Off, as long as we understand there ain't no really doing a Brooklyn list though.
Yeah, because I looked at it like this. When coming up with the concept, I'm like, all right, if you're from New York and we all came up where we would go, for the summer to a cousin's crib or whatever, and say if, family or anybody never been there and they were in love with hip hop, and you like, give me a playlist or a soundtrack to make me feel like I was in Brooklyn, or, you know what I'm saying? Just everything about it, the aesthetic is so Brooklyn. Like, I want to feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, How would you describe Brooklyn to an alien?
I'll be honest with you. I will probably, if you putting it that way, Ain't No Half Stepping would be on my radar. Only because it is one of the flyest songs from Brooklyn during the era when it was a lot of dancing.
How about this? How about this? This is okay. So we have to ask ourselves a question, Sean and AG.
Mm-hmm.
Are we identifying this as somebody that's coming from the outside looking in or the inside looking out? Because if it's the inside looking out, I can see why it's Set It Off. If it's the outside looking in, it ain't no half stepping. Because I'm gonna tell you,
it's both, Coop. I'll tell you why. It's
Well, hold on,
person
hold on.
from the inside looking out, making it for somebody on the outside
Well,
looking in.
hold on. But this is what I'm saying, and this is where it becomes important. Well, when I'm from the outside looking in, when we said that we were doing this, and I thought about Brooklyn, well, Ain't No Half Steppin' is the first record that I thought of because it's the first record that I ever really heard from a rapper from Brooklyn that was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the people that are inside Brooklyn, they may not feel like that is the appropriate representation for the borough. And I'm mindful of that, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why I'm mindful of that and become more mindful of that. It is the amount of people who outside of Atlanta, since I've been doing this podcast, have talked to me about how great Ludacris is to them in relationship to T.I. And I'm like, it's nothing like that here.
Yeah.
It's nothing
Yeah.
like that here.
You would
And
have to
so
be
I
there to
just
know
like
that.
and
Yeah.
so I just like my takes to be accurate depictions as possible. And all I'm saying is if the people in Brooklyn are like set it off, I'm like, oh no, who am I? Because I am the guy that when people be like, well, you know, Ludacris outside, I'd be like, no, that's fine if you say that outside. But round here, T.I.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think it's you can go really way wrong
in
with it because
almost
we're talking
every
about the
zone.
same artist. You know what I mean? So that's the good thing about it. It's coming from the same artist. So he's gonna have representation either way. It's just a matter of which one we want to go with.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna pick home team over outside thought because you're not about to pick. Like, how about this? Here's what I'm saying. Like, oh no, you're not about to pick. What's your fantasy over what you know about that? Like, while I'm like
Hell
live
no.
on there, you
No,
feel me?
not at all.
Right.
No. I mean, but there are people that I'm just using that as an example of their two biggest records. Like, those records
Yeah.
aren't comparable, but like, you're not gonna. Mm-mm.
For me, I prefer Set It Off between the two.
See, I was never as big on Set It Off as everybody else, so I'm gonna lean on outside influence.
What say you, Sean, as the native New Yorker?
I still go with Ain't No Half Stepping. I put the poll in the chat just real quick, but I still would probably have to go with Ain't No Half Stepping.
Yeah,
I
I
just
forgot about. We can go to the polls on some stuff.
I still go with Ain't No Half Stepping personally.
Okay.
Represent it to me. They want to get some, but I'm the
So then
king.
we got Party and Bullshit.
What did y'all think about that choice? Like,
That was a good poll,
It's a
but
good
it's all about what's going to come off.
right? Because how about this? All the other big records that are on here, the big affiliated records, I do feel like they are all better records than Party and Bullshit. But Party and Bullshit does have more of a quote unquote Brooklyn feel to me, maybe. But I don't
Let me
think
ask you
it's better
this:
than Players Anthem.
Party and Bullshit, or Treat Them Right?
I
Party and
love Treat 'em
Bullshit.
Right. I love Treat 'em Right.
I
See, I
think
think
Treat 'Em
Treat 'em
Right.
Right. See, like for me, like Treat 'em Right, and I Got It Made, and those types of records. I love those records because those are the type of rap records that I know are never getting made again.
Right.
Those records are never getting made again. Rappers never gonna feel that happy and that good and that cool and that black all at once ever again.
Fair
And
point.
so those records are more special to me. So when Special Ed's coming in on I Got It Made, when Chubb Rock's coming in on Treat 'em Right, it takes me to a place that I know that we're not going again. And so I'm more reluctant to let that go by the wayside.
Okay.
So the chat has Ain't No Half Stepping 75% so far.
That's a landslide. So let's call it. Let's keep
It's a
Ain't
better
No Half
record.
Stepping on it.
It's a better record.
Yeah.
All right. If Crooklyn Dodgers is to go on here, what's it replacing?
4 Alarm Blaze.
Sheesh.
I
But you
agree.
know what? I'll agree with you for one reason. When I hear that beat, the sample, it makes me think Rocky. When I think Rocky, I think Philly.
Yeah.
I don't think Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And there's actually, you want to know it? See, here's also how I look at it too. When we're making something that's representing it. I'm also looking at it's like, well, how are we structuring the music? I look at a record like Crooklyn Dodgers, like that can be your album opener or closer when you're doing a push.
Absolutely.
Like you can start off with that and it represents the borough appropriately, or you can close with it and it represents the borough appropriately. And I don't know if Four Alarm Blaze does that for Brooklyn.
Okay. We got a replacement. So if Pop Smoke's Scenario is able to make this list, what is it taking off?
Black Moon has 2 records on here.
Will we have a Black Moon again?
I got you open, and who got the props?
We got 2.
That's a tough. I can't decide which one to pull off though. Pause.
I think I Got You Open got to be on there. I Got You Open got to stay there.
Both of them tough though.
Yeah.
It's
tough. I'll put in the chat.
I'm just gonna full disclosure. If we taking who got the props off, I'd rather put Party of Bullshit on there than Scenario. But that's just me though.
I'm not mad at that neither.
Who?
Sorry. 18
No, you
year
good.
olds. No, I'm cool. I would definitely want to swap Crooklyn for Four Alarm Blaze. See, here's the thing. I like Party and Bullshit for the feel, not for the quality of the record. I think all these other records we're talking about are more quality.
But do you think it could replace Who Got the Props though?
What, Party and Bullshit?
Yeah, because that would be Big second record versus Black Moon having 2 records on there. And Biggie's the king of the borough. You know what I mean? Although we do got Players Anthem on there, but that's Junior Mafia. And Biggest representation on Brooklyn's finest as well.
Yeah. I mean,
it's big, man.
It's big. You can't go wrong with Big, but I would, if I had to take one off, I would take off Junior Mafia. If I had to take one off.
You don't love Players Anthem?
I love Players Anthem. I love it. I love it. But if we need representation, I think that we were talking about last week, you got to go through so much to get to Players Anthem. Because I wouldn't put Players Anthem over Crooklyn Dodgers.
What we're discussing is Party and Bullshit.
You'll put it over it? Players Anthem?
No.
Yeah. I mean, how about this? I think Players Anthem might be Biggie's most slept on verse that nobody's talked about.
Because
the hook is more, to me, the hook on Players Anthem sounds more Brooklyn than all of the record on Party and Bullshit.
Right. Yeah. Because
that's why I told you I'd take Players Anthem over Party and Bullshit.
Okay, but I just said because I thought you was fighting for it to get on, but you concede in that.
No. I'm just I'm throwing like a caveat record out, like something that I thought about during the week that like maybe deserves some consideration to be on here.
All right, so the only cuss record we have left is Pop Smoke Scenario. If not, this is our 15.
Let me ask you: do we have Soundboy Killer on here? I mean,
no.
Soundboy Burial. I mean, by Smith and Wesson.
No.
Damn.
I don't know if that's enough.
I don't think that makes it.
Did we do Put Your Lighters Up by Kim?
Yes.
That made it? Okay. Yeah, that needs
I'm gonna go through what we do have. If I come to something that Scenario can replace, you stop me. I don't think it makes it personally, but one of y'all stop me. Brooklyn's finest, Annie Up, which Annie Up being on here is why I'm cool. The reason why I'm cool with Four Alarm Blaze not being on here, because we got Annie Up. I Got It Made. I Got You Open. Who Got the Props? Who Shot You? Treat 'Em Right. Ain't No Half Stepping. BK Anthem. Where I'm From. Put Your Lighters Up. Keeping It Gangsta. Players Anthem. Crooklyn Dodgers.
Man, I don't want to drag it out too much more, man. But
I think that's a 5-mic Crooklyn album, man. As is.
It's great.
How about this? Here's what I would ask you. BK Anthem or Party and Bullshit?
BK Anthem for me. But I'm biased. I'm a huge Foxy fan, man. I love that record.
I don't even think even Ladders Up. I don't even think Ladders Up is over Audio 2 top billing from a BK perspective.
I don't think Audio 2.
Top billing is crazy, man.
It's not. It is, but I don't think it's heavy. I don't think it's heavy enough to make it. If that makes sense.
It's BK.
But to me, that's like, you know how y'all was saying about OC Time's Up? Like, I think it's in that vein. Like, it's super dope record, but not heavy enough to make this list.
Yeah.
It's not Brooklyn enough to make the list.
The Audio 2?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get to I gotta take about Audio 2 in a minute that I thought about something, but I'll save that later. Yeah, so does Pop Smoke make it or not?
Bro.
I vote no. And that's no disrespect.
J. Rue's Come Clean ain't making this list. Like,
I just have a hard time. Yeah, I don't want to stretch it out. I just have a hard time not seeing.
If he does make this list, the one to come off will probably be like "Who Got the Props" by Black Moon. Are you willing to sacrifice that?
For what?
For Pop Smoke?
I'll let y'all decide that.
Scenario. It was heavy in the chat. I was just, you know.
And damn the chat when it comes to that. I'm just saying, I would have top billing over that.
No, I wasn't talking about. I was talking about Pop Smoke Scenario, not top billing.
Hold on. Milk and Giz is both from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn. That's as BK you can get in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hold on. I thought one of them was from Philly.
No, they both was Brooklyn.
Both Brooklyn.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
There's a lot that come off of that song. It's a lot.
Well, full disclosure, before we get to Queens, I was thinking about 50, and I was like, "Yo, I Get Money" would be hard on the Queens list, but I was like, that sample is the best thing about the song, and the sample is Audio 2, which is Brooklyn, so I can't put it on there.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Sean. I might have to throw top billing in there.
That was damn near their anthem. That was damn near their anthem.
That's the BK. That was the BK anthem before Fox.
Okay.
BK anthem.
So what we taking off? Billing. Who got the props? And both of y'all voting that. We taking off Who Got the Props?
I'm cool with that.
I'm good with that.
Okay. I'll concede that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with top billing.
Yeah.
Final list, guys.
Top billing is actually one of those old school rap records that I listen to. Like I make sure I listen to it every year.
Yes.
It's very Brooklyn. It's very Brooklyn.
You have to.
All right. Brooklyn Zoo, Brooklyn's Finest, Annie Up, I Got It Made, I Got You Open, Top Billing, Who Shot You, Treat 'Em Right, Ain't No Half Stepping, BK Anthem, Where I'm From, Put Your Lighters Up, Keeping It Gangsta, Players Anthem, Crooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah. I like that.
That's a fire album.
Now we just need the sequencing.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll work on that for sure.
Now we'll do some sequencing.
For sure.
Anyway.
Now we'll move on to Sean's home borough. Queens Get the Money.
Queens Get the Money.
To start off, that's what I was saying. I was thinking about a 50 Cent record for his representation, and that's what I thought. Like, I Get Money would be a dope one, but that top billing sample is just so prominent, and that's Brooklyn, because Guys 50 is an anomaly because his biggest records sound West Coast, right?
So I'm gonna tell you the 50 record that actually needs to make it, AG, is Ghetto Quran.
I was gonna say that. I had written down my notes, which is super controversial. The only thing is I had thought that ahead of time, Coop, and I checked, and we putting these playlists out for people. That shit ain't even on streaming.
Man.
Yeah, they took that shit way off.
Look here.
Yeah.
Look here.
Yeah. It's not on there.
Fuck them people. Put it up on YouTube. We'll put it.
But it says everything we need to know about Queens. But the Queens list is gonna be so heavy it might not even make it. Period. You know.
I think Ghetto Quran kind of got to make a Queens list. I do. I'm talking about 15 records because it's 50's representation in my opinion. Unless we're picking many men. Are we picking many men?
Many Men would be the go-to for me.
Many Men would be the go-to. I mean, hell, I Get Money is definitely it speaks so much to Queens, to be honest, man. Like, but let's see what we got for it. Let's flesh it out real quick.
I like the Many Men pick. Should I write that down?
Yeah, write that one down.
All right.
Ethan Hill says Snoop Dogg dropped a monster album. He got a super chat. Appreciate you, Ethan, for the super chat.
We gotta check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out and review it. We'll get to it next show.
So let's Sean, do the honors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Name one we should put on here. You the Queen's native.
Survival of the Fittest.
We
Survival
definitely
of the
got to
Fittest
get
by
Survival
Mobb
of the
Deep.
Fittest on that. We got to get some.
Yeah, that's no question.
Survival of the Fittest.
So I look at it like this. So I just want to get some Mobb Deep selections out of the way because that's what it sounds like to me. Survival of the Fittest, Give Up the Goods, Quiet Storm. I think those are definitely those are the Mobb Deep records that definitely.
And Shook One's part 2, man.
Shook One's
I didn't know how you felt because here's the thing. I feel like Shook One's part 2 is kind of like on that Dead Presidents, kind of like New York State of Mind.
I would probably
hold on. What I'm saying, listen, what I'm saying is Shook One's part 2 a great New York record or is it a great Queens record? Because I think it's a great New York record.
When thinking about this list, Coop, Survival of the Fittest was at the top of my list.
Me too. Mine too.
For sounding like Queens, just gutter Queens.
Sound. Yep.
I'm 100% positive it's going to be more mob representation on here.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be though, because a lot of mob is still based, out of QB. A lot of mob was really just outside of Queens. Mob is very different.
With Prodigy situation, yeah.
Right. Because it would be more, if anything, more LL, because LL represented the flyness of Queens so much.
That's what I mean. But that's what I'm saying. Like Jingling Baby is a New York City record, not a Queens record.
It's definitely New York City.
I had 2 LL picks that I thought would be good on the list. I got Booming System and Ill Bomb.
I have Ill Bomb too. I have Ill Bomb AG. Hold on. I think we need to flesh out the mob thing. Are we all clear the mob is the Queen sound?
I think
yes and no, because what I would combat, I mean, yes, they are obviously are, but I could throw TONY and Blood Money out there as well. By CNN.
I didn't love those choices. I thought about those records. I did pick some stuff from what the War Report though. So is Survival of the Fittest and Give Up the Goods on your list, AG?
Give Up the Goods was further down. Survival of the Fittest was the absolute has to make it for me. Give Up the Goods is like an asterisk beside it.
Okay. What do you like?
And we lost our Queen's representative. I don't know where it's at.
That's cool. We'll hold for it till he gets back. Did you like Blood Money Part 1 or Part 2 or Part 3?
This first Blood Money.
I thought the second one was better.
Which one sounds more Queens?
See, here's the thing. Okay, so let's go to that right quick. So I think that actually, if we're talking about like the Queen sound, I think Parole Violators has more of a Queen sound than Blood Money does off the same album.
More than TONY?
I think The World See Iraq has more of that feel than TONY.
I'd like to get Sean's take on that because I disagree. I think Blood Money and TONY are the top of the food chain as far as that's concerned for me.
Okay.
But
see that wasn't for me. I love Parole Violators. Actually, like truthfully, Illegal Life is my shit on there. But I
love Illegal Life.
Illegal Life.
I love Illegal Life.
Yeah, that's my jam. That would be the joint that I would pick as like my favorite joint on there.
You had Ill Bomb as well, Coop, for the LL stuff.
Did you have Quiet Storm from Mobb Deep?
I did.
Okay.
But the only definite I wanted to go with was Survival of the Fittest, and everything else is up for discussion.
What about so we're cool on Ill Bomb though. We're lined up.
What say you to Ill Bomb, Sean?
How you feel about Ill Bomb, Sean?
For LL.
Ill Bomb is more New York than Queens.
Okay.
Way more New York than Queens. Straight up. Before you get to Ill Bomb, I would have to even put Lost Boys You know, Jeeps and beep.
I got that on my. I got that on my list.
That's on my list.
All right, so can we write that? We all got that.
Yep,
so
that's on my list. Yep, I'll take that.
What about Roxanne's Revenge? I got that on my list.
It's Queensbridge. That's straight Queensbridge.
I don't have that on my list.
It's like, yeah.
Okay, so you're compartmentalizing. Like if it's two Queensbridge, it can't represent the whole borough.
Hold on. I got one for you. Represent off Illmatic.
That's a good one. My mind is more New York State of Mind.
No, but that's New York State of Mind.
But
Queens.
But represent probably would be a better, no pun intended, a better representative.
Yeah, represent is the Queens.
Or do you think that's too Queensbridge, Sean?
I think it ain't hard to tell. It's more Queens than represent.
Really?
Yeah, man. Represent, even the rhetoric in the background of represent is Queensbridge.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying Queensbridge in it. Like it ain't hard to tell. Might be more Queens than way more than represent.
Well, I don't think that's I don't think it's a bad thing being two Queensbridge. It's kind of like where I'm from for like Brooklyn, but it's really Marcy. You know what I'm saying? Like heavy on the Marcy, but still Brooklyn.
So are we doing represent or it ain't hard to tell?
I mean, Nas got a lot of joints that could be on there. It's like, does it have to come off Illmatic? Because Made You Look sounds Queens to me.
I think that's more hip hop.
That's more hip hop. Yeah.
Overall, like overarching.
Even in the video, he took you to every borough.
Well, what about this? How about this? I got Body in the Trunk down because that sounds.
I got that on my list.
Body in the Trunk is on.
I can live with that.
Body in the Trunk.
I also got
Body in the Trunk is one of the more underrated records people never talk about.
Storytelling's crazy. I got I'm Leaving too.
I thought about I'm Leaving. It didn't make my cut though.
I would, yeah. It's so much I can get in front of that. I would go around with Girl before I get to that.
I'm gonna tell you what I have. Here's what I had has the bridge representative really was the Bridge 2001. We
got to put the original, the Bridge with Sham.
That's so Queen. That's directly Queensbridge. Shit.
Sham and Marley though.
Yeah, I get it.
What do you think about Thun and Kiko with Cormega and P?
I love that joint.
That's a hard joint.
That's Queens, but it's
Thun and Kiko.
It is Queens.
I thought Thun and Kiko kind of had to be on the list.
I love Thun and Kiko. Me and Elp was.
I'm not mad at that.
Me and Elp was on go back and forth on that before. Yeah.
And I like Cormega having some representation on there because he didn't have any other representation on my list.
Right.
Okay. Right. What about Fast Life with Cool G Rap and Nas?
Fast Life got to be on there. That's Queen's connection.
Yeah.
And for me, it's either Fast Life or Road to Riches.
I would go more Fast Life. I would lean Fast Life. Do we got Sucker MCs on there? That's the beginning. That's the essence.
Actually, hold on, Sean. I'm gonna quibble with you because I've been doing my research. I would actually submit to you that I think Hollis Crew should go over. Yeah.
What about Queen's Day with Nas and Prodigy?
No, we talking about the Run DMC joint because he said Sucker MCs.
I know that's a Run. Queen's Day is a Run DMC joint. That's later in their career with Nas and Prodigy.
Yeah, I think Hollis Crew and Sucker MC are better records though.
Sucker MC might be their best record.
Sucker MC
but is Sucker MC bigger than Queens though? That's what I'm saying. Hollis Crew speaks to their part of Queens that they're coming up in, and Hollis Crew is actually on. What's the movie? The joint him and LL is on Wild Style.
Wild Style.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Hollis Crew is actually part of Wild Style too.
I don't know.
And it's shouting out Queen. See, like when AG really started breaking down to me what he was doing, I was thinking about it. It's like, oh, it's not really necessarily about the best song. It's about the best song that's repping the neighborhood. And like, so it's like, so
was it
like,
Wild Style or Crush
DMC? If Run DMC is getting representation, well, it's like the Hollis Crew is really the first record off their first album where they're really like repping Queens, like and shouting out their neighborhood.
I get it, man, but Sucker MC and Run's House comes to mind way before Hollis comes to mind. Hollis Crew comes.
I would go Sucker MCs out of all those.
See,
Suck
but that's
MC,
what I'm saying.
Suck MC was
But does
major.
sucker MCs make you? Because here's what I'm saying though. Sucker MCs don't make me think about Queens though. There's nothing about sucker MCs that says these guys are from Queens.
That shit was a Queen's anthem though.
Are you
That shit
sure that was a Queens anthem? That's a rap anthem. That's
that
Method
shit
Man's
put
favorite song, and Method Man's from Staten Island.
that shit put Queens on the map. It put him
Yeah.
back on. It put him on the map.
That put hip hop on the map, though. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. They didn't
as a
just put
whole.
it
right. That's what I'm
ran
saying. They didn't put
As a
Queens
whole.
on the map. They put rap on the map.
It definitely ran concurrent.
I mean, to your point, Coop, that's damn near like radio for LL.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't put radio on there though, because it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, that record bigger than Queens.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these records are bigger than the Borough, is what I'm saying. Sucker MCs is
Yeah,
about
Suck
as big as-
MCs definitely plays.
like
plays
I'm trying to
a big
pick
part.
here's what I realized is like part of the reason why I didn't put Shook Ones is like, oh no, Shook Ones is bigger than Queens to me, but Survival of the Fittest isn't.
Right.
Give Up the Goods isn't. Hollis Crew isn't bigger than the Neighborhood. Sucker MCs to me
Right.
is. The World Is Yours is bigger than the Neighborhood.
Well, what would y'all say to? I mean, not to get off the Run DMC tangent,
that's
but
my perspective about how I approach choosing the songs, though. That's why I'm saying that.
Right. No, I feel
that was
you.
my song choice.
No, I don't think there's no wrong answer in it, to be honest. I really don't think there's no wrong answer. Even when I think about Run's House and what
Run's House is my favorite.
if I had to say which one was more Queens, I'd say Hollis Crew is more Queens.
Run's House is my favorite Run DMC record.
I think we got some Queens guys in the chat. I would ask them Run's House, Hollis Crew,
Paul Poland.
Yeah. We should poll that.
That's a good argument, cool. That's a damn good argument.
No.
So,
I'm just like, that was my perspective of looking at it because I'm an outsider, but I tried to look at it as an insider. Like I tried to look at it from the perspective, how would I feel as somebody that was raised in Atlanta and Charlotte?
Going back to
like, how about this? Like people in North Carolina love P.D. Pablo, but they don't necessarily love the representation of the Twist Your Shirt Up.
Yeah.
Right in here, like
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
going back to the Nas side of things with Illmatic. You said it ain't hard to tell. Coop said New York State of Mind is bigger than Queens hip hop, but he submitted Represent.
But think about
I'm
it. It's called New York State of Mind. It's called New York State of Mind, not Queen State of Mind.
Right.
And it's taken from.
I'm gonna throw in Memory Lane for the bars about what's going on with like Supreme and everybody. Like he's telling a lot of Queens history on that record.
That's a good one as well. That's a good one.
I like that one. That crossed my mind. I thought Represent literally because the song is represent. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Nas can have multiple representation, but I think Memory Lane might be his first solo joint that we put.
Oh, well, I got another one because I got Queens Get the Money by Nas on here too.
I thought you ain't like Untitled.
Don't do that, man.
Just because I don't like the album as a whole doesn't mean there aren't.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
This is one of the great moments on there. You know it is.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Do we have a Warped Tour in there by Tribe?
Okay, so that's my favorite Queens record. Period.
That got to be number one, right?
No,
okay, but
I'm gonna argue with you, Sean. Can I kick it over a Warped Tour?
No. Hold on. I'm gonna argue with you both. Like, what are we doing exactly? Because Award Tour is like my favorite Queens record. Period. But is that record bigger than the Borough? We on Award Tour with Muhammad Mahan going.
That's why I say, can I kick it's more appropriate, man. That's like, you know what I'm saying?
Because Award Tour
to me, that's Queens.
Like if we were making a Queens playlist, Award Tour would be the first song I would play.
That's why I'm going with it. You kind of gotta go with Award. You gotta go with that.
Over Can I Kick It though?
Yes.
You agree, Coop?
Award Tour is people don't understand. Award Tour to me is like one of the 10 best rap records. One of my favorite 10 rap records. There are certain rap records that are special to me, like My C's, Award Tour.
Yeah.
Those records are special to me because for me, those records are what hip hop is supposed to sound like. And so I'm totally biased about that record. So somebody puts it in any sort of list or conversation.
No, I love Award Tour. Don't get me wrong.
I'm all for that.
I love Award Tour, but which one sounds the most Queens to you?
Award Tour.
We got to go with the Queens native. Who am I to argue with the Queens native?
I'm looking at the chats right now. Even the guys from Queens are saying the same thing.
Award tour.
Yeah.
All right. What did they say on the Run DMC joint?
Let me check real quick.
Boom, boom, boom.
They got 53% sucker MCs.
50% is deadlock.
No, 53%. 53% sucker MCs.
Okay. I'll put an asterisk by it, but we'll put that.
MCs.
What do y'all say to Slam by Onyx?
It's too big for the borough.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Sean, did you went out for a little bit? Did you hear our little CNN conversation?
Or TONY?
I was more leaning towards TONY and Blood Money. Coop was more leaning into parole violators and
the world
illegal life. Illegal life, right?
And illegal life, yeah.
I love Illegal Life. I think TONY edges it out though. Just a little bit.
I think TONY is overrated, and I always felt that way. I don't think it's a top 5 song on the War Report.
Whoa!
But that's not what we're doing. I think it's top 5 first of all, and it screams Queens to me. That song screams Queens.
Hold on. Blood Money's better. Driver's Seat is better. Parole Violators.
Driver's Seat is my favorite record on the album. Believe it or not.
Driver's Seat and Illegal Life are the 2 best records on there to me.
I keep it real with a nigga. Keep it real with me.
It goes Illegal Life, Driver's Seat, Parole Violators, Stick You, and then Blood Money.
Stick You's tough.
Stick You. Hold on. Stick You is what got them unsigned hype in the Source. Stick You is what got them on.
Yeah, it was. But man, I think TONY still sounds the most Queens out of everything you named, man. I really do.
I'll take Stick You over TONY actually.
Cool. TONY was serious, man.
It's so Queens, man. So Queens.
Drug shit that you used to. QU.
Like the beat alone is more Queens than any of the other beats.
You're not shouting out Queens on TONY. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all got to be clear about this list. Like, no, they shouting out Queens on Stick You.
Queens was shouting out on
TONY. We Stick You. We supposed to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Queens were shouted out on TONY too.
Shout out TONY. That was TONY was supposed to be the anthem for Queens.
TONY, Invade NY.
It's very much an anthem.
That doesn't sound like Queens. That sounds like New York. TONY. What does that stand for? Top of New York, not top of Queens.
That means
Queens was saying it was on top.
That's all it was. That's really what it was. That was the whole thing about it. That's what it was. And that's why they had the combination from it. You had QB.
I'm not going to argue with you all about TONY. That's fine.
The chat is saying TONY, cool.
If there's any one CNN representation, I think it's that.
That's why they're in the chat.
Yo, shout out to LP.
I'm going TONY with the CNN representation if it's only one.
You gotta be.
I'm cool with TONY. It's a classic album. I just love Illegal Life. I just think they're better. Like for me, TONY is like the 6th or 7th best record on that album. But okay.
All right, we need some LL though, for real.
Ill Bomb. Oh no, Ill Bomb because of Sean.
I think who
it's
shot
all his fault.
I think Who Shot You, the original Who Shot You, is over Ill Bomb. The original.
You mean I Shot You?
I mean I Shot You.
Because it don't have the other features. Yeah.
Correct.
That's my favorite hip hop beat of all time.
The actual song Queens that LL did. Like
I Shot You's better.
Okay. I Shot You might be that one, but again, it kind of goes back to we're talking about a lot of dark Queens music where it's not just about the dark music for Queens. Queens had like a lot of.
Hold on. What Run DMC song did we pick?
Sucker MC's The Chat voted.
The chat voted. Let me see where it's at right now. I didn't close it out yet.
Man.
Yeah, the chat got it at 50%.
Okay.
Run's House at 29%. Hottest Crew at 18%.
Just want to say fuck this chat.
Yo, man.
I thought you was the one who picked Sucker MC's, Coop.
No, I said I'm okay with it, but I picked Hollis Crew.
You picked Hollis.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the people know what song I'm picking and they vote against me. Because they're a bunch of haters and they don't like how I talk about them.
Yo, Sean, I think that was a hell of a pick because I I Shot You is my favorite hip hop beat of all time. And it sounds like really Queens, really Gutter. And in my mind, I was like, damn, I can't put this song on this list because of the features. It didn't even occur to me to put the original on there. So that is a
No,
good.
we can't do that over Rock the Bells, though. We can't do that over Rock the Bells. We can't do that over Rock the Bells. We won't be doing that.
I think Rock the Bells is more New York than it is Queens.
No, it might be too big.
That. This is what I mean about y'all being inconsistent. That is
I'm
not
just saying,
consistent.
cool.
But no, Kubis, you just being inconsistent because Rock the Bells is bigger than Queens.
Hold on, we get to pick sucker MCs, but we don't get to pick Rock the Bells. We picking out Shot You over Rock the Bells.
Cool.
What are we
got
doing?
several guys from Queens in the chat. They're putting it on.
Tell them to go back to Queens, okay? Tell the guys in the chat to get out the chat and go back to Queens.
The chat,
right?
cool.
Rock the Bells is one of the biggest hip hop songs of all time.
It crosses the boundaries.
It does.
Don't get me wrong. Sucker MCs.
Sucker MCs is not Rock the Bells. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's not. It's not.
Rock the Bells is massive, Paul. It's something. It's special.
Rock the Bells is, yeah.
It's so special. Somebody from Brooklyn had to do it over. I'm sorry.
But in the vein of I Shot You, that's LL getting in his grimy Queens bag.
Yeah.
Rock the Bells.
Hold it.
If Sucker MCs is on this list, Rock the Bells is on this list.
I'm not mad at you picking it. Let's put it in the poll though.
Because here's the thing. You got to give us Jingling Baby or Rock the Bells if Sucker MCs is in there, because now you set a tone with Sucker MCs.
Hey, listen, I'm biased. I Shot You is my favorite beat of all time, so I say we put a poll in the chat.
AG, if you put I Shot You up there against Rock the Bells and fucking Jingling Baby, I Shot You's gonna get embarrassed. Don't do that.
Which one what we polling?
I Shot You and Rock the Bells. I don't think Jingling Baby is appropriate for the list. Rock the Bells is, but for me, not more than I Shot You.
Listen to my remix single. Let me see your earrings jingle.
Yeah, we need to get up on here.
Yo, do y'all want to hear what we got so far?
Yeah. Do we need to do a part 2 for this one? For Queens?
We getting close to
Where are we at? How many songs do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We 11 out of 15.
My tolerance for you all is run out. All right. It's expired for this show. Let's run down the list of these songs.
That's what I was asking that. Yeah, because Coop's saying Rock the Bells. And we got like 8 people from Queens in the chat right now.
Want to jam and something because I make a lot of money and your boyfriend don't. All I want to do is Rock the Bells.
Cool.
I would put Mama Said Knock You Out over Rock the Bells if we keeping it a buck.
Mama Said Knock You Out.
Cool. I would put Around the Way Girl.
My favorite L record.
I'll put Around the Way Girl over Rock the Bells.
Round the Way Girl's bigger than Queens.
He was talking about a girl around the way in Queens.
In Queens.
I don't know. I don't know if L chilling in Queens when he making Round the Way Girl with his going back to Cali ass. Okay.
Cool. Okay. He's showing the complexities of Queens. It's too much complexity to Queens. Queens is
we don't got no job representation, yo.
I want my Rock the Bells.
We don't have to. We don't really have to, and it's okay.
Why am I Rock the Bells?
Why you do John like that? Knowing you love Benny Benny Vici, man.
It's a classic.
But my favorite
is 77% so far. Cool. 77% for I Shot You.
I Shot You.
People are voting. Sean, you and your cousins, no more voting for y'all.
Your cousins. And you know what's crazy? My favorite Ja song ain't even on any of his albums. The Story to Tell off the Belly soundtrack is my favorite Ja song.
Probably his best record.
I think it is on Veni Vidi Vici.
It is.
It's on there too?
Yep. It's on Veni Vidi Vici. It's like track 7.
I don't remember it being on there.
It's like track 7 on there. Yeah, it is. So
does it make the list?
We got Award Tour. We got Survival of the Fittest. Right?
Yep.
We got TONY.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Got the Jeeps, Lex Coupes, Beamers, and the Benz.
Yep.
Right? We got Fast Life, right?
Yep.
Fun and Kicko.
Yep.
Yep.
Quiet Storm.
We never agreed on Quiet Storm, but I'm not mad
We're
at it.
agreeing now. Oh my God. What are we doing out here? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be that aggressive.
I do think it needs to be another Mobb Deep record on here.
Okay, so here's the thing. Quiet Storm or Give Up the Goods?
I mean, he starts out Give Up the Goods. You know what I'm
Queens
saying?
get the money, long time, no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle right. I told you that's my favorite shit.
Yeah.
Let's go Give Up the Goods.
Okay.
Y'all with that?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I'm good with that.
Hold on. Okay. So that's 7. We got, what else do we have?
You didn't say, yeah, you didn't say Sucker MCs, I Shot Ya, or Many Men. And then Jeeps, Lex, Coops, and Benz.
Hold on. I said Jeeps, Lex, Coops, and Benz. Sucker MCs. Hold on. I Shot Ya. How we get the I Shot Ya and Many Men? Is Many Men definitely making this list?
For 50 representation, I think it needs to be on there. I mean, he's talking about Queens politics as far as what happened to him. I mean,
that's fine. Many Men.
Do we have Simon Says on there by Pharaoh Monch?
No, we don't, Sean. That's a hell of a pick.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it needs to be any discussion. I think that needs to go on there.
Is that a Queens record though?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That beat and that, yes, that's a Queens record. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's as much of a Queens record as Annie Up is a Brooklyn record.
It really is.
That's fair. I love that comparison, AG.
It really is.
No, I love that comparison. Those are bars right there. Hold on. I Shot You by L. Hold on. We're not doing this I Shot You by L thing over Jingling, baby. I'm not.
The chat voted. It was a landslide.
The chat voted. Man, I keep trying to tell you. Let me say this slow so the people. Let me say this slow so the people in the chat understand this. Man, fuck what this chat said.
Yo, even look, who even we got a super chat for
DJ Tim, the Space King. Who in the hell is DJ Tim, the Space King? What type of mushroom? What type of mushrooms are you ingesting, DJ Tim? This is ridiculous. I Shot Your remix is the best remix. We're not talking about the remix because there's a dude from the Bronx on the remix. There's a chick from Brooklyn on the remix. There's a guy that's not even from.
Don't act like LL wasn't spitting on the original, bro.
LL was crazy on the original. He got 3 or 4 verses on the original.
Hold on. Where's the hook from the I Shot You come from? Isn't that from Jingle? Oh, you want a hit? Give me an hour plus a pen and a pad.
But here's the thing.
Where does that come from? No, where does that come from?
Don't do this.
All right, fine, whatever. But listen.
Don't do this. I don't come to North Carolina or Georgia saying, hey, let's do
hold on. The hook that I Shot You comes from Jingling, baby. Like, what are we doing?
No, but let me ask a serious question, Coop. And you too, Sean. All the love that song gets is for the remix, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think it would be appropriate if we shed some light on the original with our list.
I agree. Because that original is not bad. That original joint, L went crazy on that original joint.
I would like for us to be the ones that say, you know what? The original is really dope too, and it represents Queens.
Yeah. It does, cool.
That's what I'm lobbying for.
My arthritis is hurting my hands. I can't write no more on this list. It's time to go. Thank you for coming out there.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we lock in, we only got 2 spots left. If we lock in, we need another Nas record probably.
No, we need the Beat Nuts. We need Watch Out Now.
Yeah, but we still need 2 records, and we can put It Ain't Hard to Tell on there or Represent. Which one, y'all? I don't disagree with either of those. I say we poll It Ain't Hard to Tell and Represent, and do the Beat Nuts.
The realist with Cool G Rap and Mobb Deep.
Oh damn,
the realist.
I love that record, man. That's my favorite record on Quiet Storm.
That's a real Queens record.
Yeah.
The realist, come on.
And we need some more Cool G, bro.
There's no Cool G on here.
We so
Fast Life. Fast Life.
We so dark, man.
That's not enough. It's Queens, okay? These niggas ain't happy, dark, okay? Okay, the niggas outside Farmers and Hollis ain't happy, okay, Sean?
It's very fly shit.
Are you happy?
Fly shit. That's what
it's about. Leave that to Harlem. You can be on your fly stuff when we do Harlem, bro.
Queens is flyer though.
Okay, the Queens. The queens I was introduced to, these aren't happy niggas. They're fly, but they're not happy.
Yo.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking part of how they got fly is because they robbed the nigga to get fly.
Whoa. All right. Let's pause this one. We finish it up next week and flesh it out.
All right. So we got 2 spots left. I'm gonna write down.
Hold on. Name all the songs in AG. Just so.
All right. Many Men.
Right.
Survival of the Fittest.
Right.
Jeeps, Lex, Coops, Beamers and Benz.
Yeah.
Body in the Trunk. Thun and Kiko.
Yeah.
Fast Life. Memory Lane. Award Tour. Sucker MCs. TOMY. I Shot Ya, the original version. Give Up the Goods. And Simon Says. We got 2 slots left. I'm gonna write down It Ain't Hard to Tell and Represent.
I still don't know about that whole I Shot Ya in Memory Lane thing.
You lost the vote, Coop. And and Watch Out Now. And then by the Beat Nuts. And then Coop, you said another one. Or what am I missing? I missed the 4th record that somebody said.
I Won't Jingling. Baby, let me see your earrings jingle.
Which one are you arguing? First is Rock the Bells, then it's Jingling Baby. You keep switching up.
I want everything. I want it all.
I will put that over before I put Many Men.
Which one?
See
For me, it'd be Rock the Bells. If we take Many Men off.
In all honesty, if Sucker MCs is on this list, it's hard to not have Rock the Bells on the list with Sucker MCs because those are the 2 important records that came out of Queens that kind of defined the sound for the borough, just truthfully speaking, and for hip hop, just if we're being honest.
All right, let's do this.
Rock the Bells. There's a whole, think about it. L's entertainment empire is called what?
Rock the Bells.
Right, it's a reason for that. It's Rock the Bells.
All right.
Hold on. 70% over on for 30% for Rock the Bells.
It did.
Who beat Rock the Bells?
Hold on. I'm missing the realist. The realist is one. All right, so these are
in the chat. I shot them. How about that?
All right, look, y'all. These are all the cusp records. It Ain't Hard to Tell. Represent. Watch Out Now. Rock the Bells. Jingling Baby. The Realist. We good on those for being the cusp records because they're fighting for 2 more spots.
That is horrific. That is diabolical. Get me out of here.
Why is it diabolical? Those are the records that could still make it.
It's diabolical work, man. All right.
You know what we should do? We should do a Twitter poll on our main page. Put all these joints in and ask which one sound the most Queens. And the top 2 vote getters get in.
Let's get more people who don't know what they're talking about involved.
Let's go, man.
Maybe some people who have been biting our style will repost it and get thousands of followers.
Coop the only person, Sean from Queens. Okay. Coop the only person be like, Sean, you're wrong. This is Queens.
And you got Elp who's from Flushing. You got another Sean, he's from Queens. You got all these guys in here putting. I
got one for you before we get out of here. Ice Down Medallions by Royal Flush.
I don't think it makes it. I like that record, but I don't think it makes it.
It's dope.
Not heavy enough.
It's dope.
Not heavy enough.
That's a closer because again, Queens.
I don't think it's better than any of these others on the cusp that we have right here.
Queens is not just QB, fellas. QB is
why you say fellas?
Fraction.
I'm the one that picked Hollis Crew for a record.
It's more than Hollis.
I'm the one that picked the Cool G rap feature.
I tried to get a Ja Rule record on here. Why are you telling me, Sean?
You're the one that's from Corona, Queens. You didn't even pick Cool G rap.
How dare you even talk about Ja Rule
record?
You just don't want Ja Rule and 50 on the same list.
I don't want to acknowledge Ja Rule's presence in Queens. That's ridiculous. It's diabolical.
He should be somewhere on here.
Click like, share, and subscribe, guys.
Like, share, subscribe. Thank you all. We appreciate y'all. Queens get the money. Brooklyn stand up. Joey, keep doing your thing.
They need to put me in the last season of Stranger Things because that's where I am between this podcast.
They should.
I'm in the upside down. No, I'm in the upside down. I deserve a role. They got Stephen A. podcast doing fucking all types of shit. No. I can do this.
You deserve it all.
Put me in the upside down.
He's Kendrick.
Yeah, you deserve it all.
I deserve it all.
First of all,
Man at the garden.
show,
Coop at the garden.
don't you ever end this show talking
We got
about
pictures
me,
of Coop at the garden.
talking about me,
Yeah,
a bar.
Coop at the
It
garden.
comes from Coop at the garden, my ass. Been at the garden. Been at the garden. Look here. I seen Taj
Coop
Mama.
told us at the garden. I was everywhere. You ain't never there.
Yeah, for no reason. For no reason. We didn't even say
disrespectful.
anything.
I was disrespectful. Yeah, I very much was. I seen Taj Mama. I seen Taj Mama. I knew I had made it because I was on the phone with Taj and I was looking at Taj Mama while I was on the phone with Taj. I said, nigga, I'm rich. Taj Mama fine, by the way.
Our definition of made it is different.
Yo, man.
Yo, what's wrong with you, man?
You know, mama's fine.
Yo,
you haven't
Coop
seen
been
her
talking
mama
about jiggling baby too much now.
Yeah.
Seen her mama. I look like a whole snack. Like I was like, check.
That's wild, Coop.
This
Check,
dude right
please.
here, man.
Mother's
Check,
Day was
please.
just last weekend. You wild, bro.
Right.
Okay.
Shout out to Escobar Cigars.
Look here.
Why you doing that, Sean?
You know what? Shout out to Escobar Cigars. The Maduro joints are actually phenomenal, if you ask me. They got double Corona.
And me fuck.
They got the gold, the Toro Gordo.
Nigga, no.
Like nigga. Churchill. The Churchill is my personal favorite. As you can see, the Churchill got a little bit of that's a long smoke right there. Pause. But yeah, shout out to the good folks at Escobar Cigar.
Yo,
really appreciate it.
You did Coop dirty, Sean. That's nasty work.
And they said a personalized
he hit him with the Winston Churchill.
They said personalized my name on it. So shout out to Escobar Cigar, man. Nas signatures on here, man. This is all love, man. Hope y'all have a good night tonight.
I swear to God, yo, if you pulled out an OVO white leather jacket too, I would fall all the way out. Like I would be.
I just noticed
you like
this
the cigar.
They also Nas sent like a little pendant with his signature on it as well, right?
First of all, nobody cares about the little metal plated pendant.
I
hope when you light the cigar that all your shoe collection burns down behind you.
It's funny you said light.
I hope you light up your cigar and your whole shoe.
It's funny you said light because it also sent me a lighter. And Nas signed that one as well. And it's a control.
Nobody see that.
It's control.
That lighter came from Temu. That's not a real lighter. That's a Temu.
And it sent me a cigar cutter, Coop.
Yo, that's insane.
Shout out to Nas, man. You see that gold pendant right there with his signature on it? Nas said,
wow.
I'd actually like it for free. I don't want to purchase it. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what purchase means. It's crazy. I don't know what that means. Some people got the purchase, I guess. I don't know. But it says
yeah. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. But
no, you're not. That's the problem. You're not sorry.
I'm really not. But QU, Queens get the money. And
hey, you know what, Coop? That's what you get for agreeing with Sean at the top of the show. You knew better and you did it anyway.
First of all, I'm smoking a little bit more of an established cigar than the company that just started. Yeah. I like cigars that have been imported, that have actually been in business for, like hundreds of years. But you smoke those new cigars, you let me know how they go. Hope your shoe collection burns down when you smoke those little fake Churchills. Those aren't real Churchills, by the way.
Escobar cigars.
I can teach you about cigars. I've ran cigar bars, but whatever. They're gonna give the guy that hasn't ran cigar bars cigars. But no. I'm gonna talk to some people. People think I'm going to spend money in Vegas on a show. Cancel those tickets. Want to see your ass?
He said,
me a cigar.
That's the thing. If you know it's a wild show, we could picture with two in the same show.
It's very no, it's fascinating. I have to spend my money to go see your ass. I've been asked for a cigar for a year.
I deserve it all.
No. Some cigars better motherfucking appear. That's all I gotta say. Some cigars better motherfucking appear.
I deserve it all.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yo, Queens get the money. We appreciate y'all. Yo, help, Trife, Jack, the whole Discord crew, CLL.
I just want to let the Discord chat know Y'all are a bunch of enablers. Your takes are terrible. I want to let the people at Escobar Cigar knows I won't be supporting your product at all. Any purveyor in Atlanta that tries to get your cigar, I'm officially about to try to block that. I am a hater. Yeah, I know who I am. I'm about to hate. I hope you're not. I hope you
Coop
don't think
gonna
Escobar
call
Cigars coming to
Escobar
Atlanta.
Cigar customer service.
They gonna be like, Coop, ain't you affiliated? Be like, no, I don't know them niggas at all. I don't know
He'll
any
get
of them.
scared.
We
Coop look like
just
the
seen you.
dude. You
They
know
gonna be
the
like, we
meme
just
where the
seen
dude
you on
on the
YouTube
phone with
with
his
them. Be
arms
like,
folded.
nah, that wasn't me. That was my cousin Armando. I don't know.
Yo,
I don't know.
Coop gonna call customer service on Escobar
I
Cigars.
don't know.
Cool smoking
That's cool.
optimal.
Yeah, I'll hold.
That's
I'll
cool.
hold.
No. I'm gonna keep on smoking these Rocky Patel like real cigars and these like.
Cool. These are real. It actually comes with a humidor in the inside, cool, which is crazy.
Sir, I have a
That's-
humidor sitting over here. I have little package
Yeah,
humidors.
but
I got
this
Cuban
humidor right here,
cigars.
cool.
Sir, I was smoking Cuban cigars when Fidel Castro was still giving people problems. Okay, like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
but
I do
now I
this.
smoke these, cool.
No. It's so disrespectful. I don't give a fuck what he smokes. All right.
Yo, we gotta go. I gotta go. I'm jet lagging. Peace.
Give a damn.
Yeah, that's insane. Oh my God.